You
don't
can't
do that?
listen. No, you can't
No?
listen. No.
Really?
You can
You need to
you
talk.
can watch my live stream if you want to chat reload.
Okay.
Wow.
Robot.
All right, nerd,
Hi.
you're up. Let's go. Prove it.
Oh, sorry, I joined the wrong chat. Please forgive me. I love you.
Your mom's fat, dude. Just understand that. Wherever you are right now, if you have ever watched this back on YouTube and you were wondering how your interaction went in this room, just understand that I have reached a conclusion that your mother is fat.
Absolutely dominated.
Was that? Dude, I am hearing way too much of my own voice lately.
Way too much your own what?
My own voice.
You want more engagement? Is that what you're saying?
No, playing back these videos so that I can
Oh, fair, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it seems to be working. I've been tracking my metrics or analytic, and my engagement and watch time has been going up. So somebody's out there watching the shit. I just hope it's not like people that already know my shit and it's like new people. All right, nerd. Prove it. It'd be you, Jay.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know you were talking to me. Prove God ain't real? I believe in God.
No, you read that wrong.
Oh. What am I proving?
God. Like that it's real.
I believe in God. So I'm trying to prove that there is a God.
Do you believe a God exists in reality?
Sure, yeah. As much as I believe chairs exist, yeah.
Okay, I would ask you to demonstrate the existence of God to the same caliber that you could demonstrate the existence of a chair. All right, your floor.
The caliber at which I'm capable of demonstrating the existence of a chair is fairly poor by any means. So
yeah, do it that way though, because you said like a chair, so do it like a chair.
Yeah, like ontologically. Like,
yeah, do that with God. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're on the same page there.
Well, let's define God as.
Hold on, wait.
Okay.
We got to observe before define when it comes to extants.
Sorry, what does extant mean?
A thing that exists, a member of the existence, like one of them. So extant comes from the same word as existence. It just means a member of a thing that exists. It's a particular thing of existing.
It's funny, in biology, extant means quite the opposite.
No, that's extinct.
Extant. Also, no. Perhaps maybe
extant would mean it's real and it exists. Extinct means it's gone.
You're dead right. I just looked it up. Sorry, hold my hand here while we.
It's fine, dude. I'm a hyper linguist. Kind of.
Yeah, me too. No, I appreciate it.
So I'm just asking you to demonstrate the existence of your God, that it is an extant to the same caliber you could do a chair.
And when you asked that, I had begun to describe a definition, but then you had an objection.
Right, because that's not what you did with chairs. With chairs, you didn't just define a chair. You observed a chair, asked, what is that? And then mom and dad said, a chair.
Yeah. But
right, so you got the definition of a chair from a chair.
You didn't, any other.
But you got the definition from the chair. You didn't get it from the definition. Like the definition was constructed via access to the chair. That happened first. It happened a long time ago, probably thousands of years ago before us. We established the notion of chair with a prior of chair. Then we self-reinforced that by utilization of the word chair. From our vernacular, from our lexicon, we appealed to the word chair to reference the things in reality that are consistent with the assertion in our brains, chair. So we have an idea of a chair in our brain, but we're really referencing an object in space-time that defines the understanding of chair in our brain. You see what I'm saying?
Well, then I define God as an object in space-time.
But that's backwards.
Gives me this...
Your operation's backwards. We need to first establish the prior, just like we did with the chair. We established the prior with the chair. Now we can meaningfully use the word chair in our everyday parlance. But you're trying to smuggle God in. You didn't do what we did with chairs. That's why I'm saying prove God to the same caliber we do chairs. Because you said God exists like chairs. So prove it to the same caliber like chairs. If you can't do that, then we would just take a step back and reevaluate your statement where you believe God exists like chairs. I believe that I'm showing you in real time. You, in fact, don't, that's some weird platitude. You don't actually believe God exists to the same caliber you do chairs, but you're saying this to self-reaffirm some kind of psychological disposition that you got going on in your brain. So I'm revealing that through the Socratic method. So in effort, I am manipulating your brain right now, but I'm being honest about it, and I'm unfucking your brain. It's been fucked up to believe that there's an equivalent statement between the existence of your God and the existence of the thing you're sitting on right now. Those do not exist as the same caliber of statement. So can you prove the existence of your God?
I cannot prove the existence of a chair.
Yes, you can. I'm sitting on one. So just say, look down, and I'll look down, and then I'll see a chair, and you say that thing. Would you like to do it?
That depends on sense data, which is
yeah, I'm sitting on a chair. Correct. That's what I would use my experience. I would look around me, and I would evaluate my environment, and I would determine that your definition of chair is consistent with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I could sit on all kinds of shit, dude. I'm just going to stop at 13. So just get me there with your God. What can I look around and see and then know that that's a God? What would I be looking at? Like a chair is something I can sit on. That's what I was looking for when I was counting chairs. Things I know I can sit on. So what is it that I would look out in space-time and see and then know I'm looking at a God? What is that property? Because you got your operation backwards. All you have to do is make an observation of God and then just tell me one of the sets of its characteristics. Just tell me one thing. But since you lack that observation, you can't tell me that one thing. That's all you would need.
I feel. There is a feeling.
That's you. That's you. You're putting yourself on the ontological table. I'm asking you to put God on the table, and you just hopped up on it and said, I have a feeling. We're not talking about you. I have a feeling, too. I'm having a feeling right now about you.
That there is a feeling.
Yeah, but I'm having a feeling right now, though. I'm having the feeling. But I'm having the feeling that you're being illogical right now. So we got to rectify this. I haven't proposed
any syllogisms, so logic
yes, you did.
Has
yes, you did. You said God exists in the same way that a chair exists.
Yeah.
Do you remember saying? Hang on. Pause, dude. We're talking over each other. Stop. We're talking over each other. We can't do that. So you made a claim. Don't lie to me and say you didn't make a claim. You said you believe your God exists to the same degree that you believe chairs exist. That's a claim. And I'm showing you that claim is false in real time.
You're showing me that claim is false.
Yes, I have successfully demonstrated to you that there is a distinction difference between your belief in God and your belief in a chair. These are two different modalities in your brain. You have direct, observable, and repeatable observational status and data for the existence of chairs. I'm asking you for that for your God, and you have nothing. You have zero and nothing. That is a distinction.
I have the exact same level. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but
no, interruptions is fine. But when we're over talking each other, you've got to stop. Like you can't. We can't talk like that. We went on for like 10 seconds talking at each other. I didn't hear you. You didn't hear me.
Well, that's a compliment to both of us, but neither of us were willing to back down.
It's fine. We'll just got to remember that we got to move forward, though. So we can't just sit there. We're gonna for the longer we talk over each other, it's more that we're gonna have to go back and say, what'd you say? So you are trying to convince me.
Of chairs.
Go ahead.
The existence of chairs comes solely from sense data. It comes solely from subjectivity.
No. Listen, that's not happening. That's not real. But both are running in tandem. You have a brain that's running logic loops, trying to figure out what your sensory data is feeding it. So you have processes of cognition, which is your ability to take up data from the environment, make sense of that to some degree, and then package that information up to the higher cognitive, your metacognitive functions. So you can see a chair, and then you can make the metacognitive determination that you enjoy the chair, that the chair is comfortable, that you're going to go sit in that chair. Those are all metacognitive states from your observation, your simple observation. there is a chair. So you're doing two different tasks here running in tandem. You're observing the environment and understanding the environment. With your understanding, you then go on to contextualize some of those things. One of those things in reference here is the referent chair. What I'm using is the one that I'm sitting on. So the word chair, in my statement, the referent is the one that I'm sitting on.
You talk too much for it to be a dialogue.
Because I'm having to repeat myself here. I'm making sure you're clear. You are trying to pretend at me, and I'm saving us from gaslighting, that the quality of God's existence is the same as the quality of the trillions of fucking chairs that exist on this planet.
You have yet to hear a definition that I might propose.
I'm informing you the definition can come next. We need an observation to validate the definition. To establish the foundation of the definition itself, we need an observation. That is required.
That's
How did you know?
No.
How did we know that a beaver's tail was flat before we observed the beaver? Did we have a definition of a beaver having a flat tail before we observed the beaver? No.
No, but
we
I can
observed the
define
beaver.
into-
Hold on.
Again,
But we
you talk too
observed.
much
Hold
about-
on.
No,
we
don't tell me
observed.
to hold on, bro.
we
You've been talking for
observed-
3
okay.
minutes.
I guess the conversation's over, Jack. If you want that, that's the conversation being over. When I was telling you that when we're over talking each other and we can't be heard, I was informing you of my room rules. I'm trying to help you fix a problem in your brain. I'm not trying to learn how to do your problem in my brain. I already figured it out. Yep, there you go. That's executive function. If your ass does not want to learn from me when I'm teaching you, click the fucking disconnect button, because any amount of obstinance, I don't want it. You come to me as my student, I will treat you as my student, and then I will free you back to the world. If you come at me as my student, and then you start trying to educate me, I'm going to do what every teacher does and tell you to shut the fuck up and go somewhere else, because I didn't go to you to learn from you. You came to me to learn from me. As long as you understand our relationship, we can have a cordial conversation. But once you come at me acting like I'm going to you and asking you to teach me something, we're going to have a fucking problem, because I'm not doing that. I'm not trying to learn from you. I'm trying to unfuck your brain. That's it. I'm trying to unfuck your brain. Now, if I learn from you in the process, that's a bonus, but I'm not asking you any more information than I need than to use it to unfuck your brain. That's it. That's why I repeatedly tell people, we're not friends. We're not friends. I am not here to get you to like me or any of that shit. If I wasn't here to educate people, you wouldn't be hearing any of this shit, right? I might be live streaming a game or something like that, just being a normal fucking person, right? Just a regular, well, a normal antisocial person minding my own business, doing my thing. That's, but when I'm setting this shit up to teach people something and they come at me with that level of obstinance, I ain't wasting my time on an obstinate brain. You wanted a teacher, I will be your teacher, but I need an attentive student. Right? I can't teach a hostile mind. I can't do it. If you're just over talking and shit, and you're not like attentive to what I'm saying, then I know you're not listening. And what the fuck am I talking to you for? I'm gonna go back to playing my video game, not sit here and treat and abuse you for like ever. Like, it's not just a platform where you just get to run your goddamn mouth, right? Like, understand that. You're coming into my classroom. I'm trying to teach you. If you don't want to take this class, what the fuck are you doing in here? Click the disconnect button. Oh shit, I got an agnostic that came in the room. Horror, hey, what's up? Yeah, I'm just putting this channel up so that people could see the way an agnostic navigates itself through a conversation, with the caveat that I'm a powder keg and I'm a fucking asshole, and, don't try to understand my mannerisms. Just focus on the logic that I'm saying like that, and just kind of filter out the powder keg, and shouldn't be too problematic. But yeah, I'm a low EQ knuckle dragger. I'm highly triggered, and lots of people know that, so they come and intentionally trigger me. That guy wasn't trying to intentionally trigger me, but he was looking for like equal footing in the conversation, and I'm not offering equal footing, because once I'm at equal footing with you, I just go fuck off and go do my own thing. I don't sit around and fucking talk to you. Like, I'm just not interested in that. I'll have banter back and forth and shit like that, but I'm not interested in like orbiting someone or having orbiters. So, it's just communication and passing at that point, because I have my own life and I don't need people I'll never meet, never build an emotional bond with. I don't need them getting involved in the fucking chaos in my brain. So I just make sure that everybody I know and interact with here understands that level of hostility so that they don't waste their goddamn time on somebody that's not reciprocating the emotion that you're. But yeah, that dude, I think that dude was just, he needed that equal footing to get it out because he feels like he's right. And I get that he thinks that there's a direct connection between the understanding in his brain and the understanding of the thing that we're alleging out in reality. And there's not. There's a semantic content to his notion of a chair, and there's epistemic content to his notion of a chair. So with the semantic content of his understanding and the epistemic, there is an overlay. There's a near perfect overlay that in his brain, he has some loose conceptualization of the requirements of a chair. And in reality, he sees that a lot of objects are consistent with this loose understanding of a chair, which is just basically something that you can sit on. So like 10 of the 13 things that I listed that were chairs are not intended to be chairs. Only 3 of them: the driver's seat, the passenger seat, and my computer chair. These are the 3 chairs in my house. The other things are just things that I can fucking sit on, right? And that's what a chair is. So when I look at the world for the properties of a chair, I'm not looking for 4 legs and wood with the back. I'm not looking for those things. Those are options chairs can have, but they don't need that. It just needs to be something my ass can make contact with, which is physical, like electromagnetic stuff that's not too hot or cold or charged, right? These are things that I would look for in a chair. When I'm looking for a God in my room, what are the things that I'm looking for and not finding, or finding? What am I supposed to be looking out at into the world and finding? That's the epistemic value, the epistemic content, right? So I have a semantic content, and that's my internal understanding of what I expect chairs to be as chairs are defined. But then I have an epistemic content, which is my understanding of the physical parameters of reality, what's consistent out there and what makes sense in my brain. That's a completely different thing. And if you're coming at me saying there's something real and you have access to information about it, I'm asking you 2 questions. What is it and how do you know it? The what is it is the semantic content. The how do you know it is the epistemic content. And if you lack the epistemic content, I have a tell you to go fuck yourself. That's all I have for someone that's talking to me and trying to gaslight me into believing that their semantic content will fill in the absence of epistemic content so that they can use their semantic content as the prior to all of their inferences. Eat a fucking dick. I'm not doing that for you. I'm not an atheist. I don't have to do that for you. You have to do that for you. But what you really have to do is demonstrate the ontology of your God. Because every statement that you're making about an ontos or a referent, absent the referent, is going to be a non sequitur, which leads to direct contradictions for every single property you use about it. The example I give is blue. If I say unknown object is blue, that statement does not logically follow, so it's a non sequitur. If I say it's not blue, that statement also does not logically follow, so that statement is a lot. It's a logical contradiction for a non sequitur to appear in this form. You have to sequiturize that shit, which is make a fucking observation, build an epistemic bridge from epistemology to ontology. That's what you do. You build your epistemic bridge. That is your experience. You look at the ontology and you merely describe it. You then, when you have your observation, you then close your eyes, you put your fingers upwards towards the sky, and you start humming. You find inside your brain, in the deep annals of your mind, the words you're looking for inside there that reference the referent. But quit fucking pretending that you could just sit there, close your fucking eyes, find those same exact fucking words, unicornize that fucking idea, and then assert it as your prior. You're a knuckle dragger. It's not a prior. It's just a fucking presupposition. It's just crazy that some people are so dumb that, like, they don't get that. Because that just seems like like basically every fucking animal on the planet can do what I just said. You look at an object and you say, what does that mean to me? Is that a nut? Is that not a nut? Is that a pebble? Right? That's what a squirrel is fucking doing. Next time your ass is at school or whatever, and you're watching the fucking birds and animals, all the birds and the squirrels and all them shits, that's what they're doing. They're cognizing and conceptualizing. Now, their ability to conceptualize is absolute dog shit compared to ours. but their ability to cognize is still absolute dog shit compared to ours. But they're still doing it, and they're probably a lot better in their own way, in their own animalistic way, at cognizing their environment. Cognition comes first. Conceptualization comes second. Conceptualization is an overlay that we put on top, or a meta-analysis of our cognition. So absent cognition, you don't have a valid epistemic model for whatever your fucking headcanon is. This is the fucking issue. I don't know if your headcanon's true or false. I don't know if an unknown object X is or isn't blue. I just know the assertion that it is either one of those things is a logical contradiction. That's all I fucking know. And I also know that there's, well, that's a contradiction there. I know stuff, and one of the other things that I know is how to get that information, and you make an observation of that information. But what do the theists do? They pretend there's a special category of information. That's what they do. They start telling you about that semantic shit. You want some of this semantic shit? Huh? Yeah, you looking for some more memes? Huh? You need more words? Right, that's all it is. Semantics is just me going like this. Ooh, ooh, ah, ah. That's semantics right there. It's monkey grunt. And I don't understand why everybody likes semantics so much anyway. I mean, what about all other kinds of dicks? It's not just ants that have dicks. Yeah, some ants have dicks, but I mean, everybody's got fucking dicks, really, if you think about it. Even bacteria have dicks. They have harpoon dicks, actually. If you look up a harpoon dick on Google, you'll see pictures of them. They're called conjugation piluses. They literally have harpoon dicks, so like everything's got dicks, not just semantics. But see, this is the problem, is atheists just slurp that semantic content up. Atheists love them some of that shit. Like it's crazy how much atheists just love that semantic content, right? Like it's like I'm telling you what, you want some real content, you get some of that epistemic content. That's the good shit right there. I don't know why the atheists are so adverse and avoidant to epistemic content, but once I found out the difference between semantics and epistemics, now I only found out about epistemic bridges and all that bullshit not too long ago, but I've already had terminology for that shit. But I'm clearing up some terminology, trying to educate you fucking nerds on what Igtheism is. So I'm thanking me for teaching myself from teaching. So, hey man, thanks. Hey, yo, fuck you. I hate you. You know I hate you. Yeah, I know we hate each other, bro. Fuck you first, all right? Yeah, well, I said it yesterday. Yeah, but that wasn't you. That was him. So fuck you. Well, who the fuck am I talking to right now? Well, no one. You're just putting on an act, talking to yourself, so it's the same fucking entity. If you want it to be two different people, you're going to have to either die or lose consciousness. So what are you going to do? Are you going to die or lose consciousness? And, well, I'll fucking lose consciousness later, motherfucker. Why don't you shut up and let me get back to this shit? See what I'm saying? Like, I could have semantic content too, right? Did you hear me have a conversation with somebody that I had epistemic access to, or was it just semantic internal fucking bullshit? It sounded like it's semantic internal bullshit, didn't it? Because there was one thing with epistemic content there. That was me talking to my own dumb ass. If you think there were two people there, you're an idiot. There wasn't. But you heard all the words, right? But what about unicorns? People can believe it. Yeah, that's semantics. That's semantics. When I say you don't have a proper definition of God, I'm not saying you don't have semantics. I'm saying you don't have epistemic access. I don't know which word to use to identify any property your God has. Now, I have a fucking metric fuckload of descriptors. I have so many fucking descriptors, like you don't even fucking know. There ain't shit you can show me that I wouldn't be able to provide descriptors for. You could show me some like amorphous blob that's weird and undulating, and it's like some quantum fuzzy gyration that causes like warps in the photonic reference frames of all objects, and it causes just these weird distortions and electrical crackles. See what I did? I don't know what any of that shit looks like, but I just let my brain access descriptors. That's semantics. If you fucking monkeys actually think that I'm complaining about lack of semantics, then you're not paying attention. I am talking about, why would I use the word flat? Flat's in my repertoire. I have flat. I have round. I have undulating. I have parabolic. Right? I have all these fucking words I can use to describe stuff, but what am I describing? Why would I draw from color, weight, anything? Why would I, in my brain of semantic understanding of words, why would I pick any particular word to describe a thing? Because I'm observing the thing. And when I observe the thing, it'll inform me. It'll tell me, hey, flat is the word you want to use, dude. And then I'm like, it's got a flat. And then it'll be like, it's called a tail, right? That's what the beaver will tell me. It's a tail. And I'll be, a tail. It's got a flat tail. And it's got feet. And then it'll start waving around its front feet. And I'm like, yeah, it's got 4 feet and a big teeth. And it'll start jumping. I'm like, what? And it'll be like, dude, look at my feet closely. Look at my feet. And I look closely at the feet. And I'm like, okay, you got, your front hands aren't webbed. But, oh shit, your hind webbed. Oh, I see why you were doing that, because your webbed feet in the back and your front. So the beaver's like, he like nods at me and he smiles and I'm like, and there's his big ass purty teeth, right? It's the beaver telling me what the beaver is. All the beaver is asking is that of my big ass monkey brain and how it's chocked full of words, that I pick the appropriate words that's inside my brain to semantically construct a sentence that I can convey to not the beaver, another monkey who understands the same lexicon. So I can build as much semantic content as I want. The question is, does the beaver agree? Does the beaver allow? Does the beaver abide, right? Is this what the beaver is? The beaver is the meaning of the semantics, right? In my statement, there is a beaver. That is a statement about epistemics. That's not a statement about semantics. That's an epistemic. I'm saying there is a beaver. That epistemics is going to constrain the breadth of available descriptors in my brain. It's gonna make me allowed to focus on the necessary descriptors to convey a meaning to you about the nature of a beaver. But you have been gaslit into believing that epistemic content and semantic content are the same thing, which is why you're allowed in atheist discourse to smuggle purely semantic content in as a prior. I am not giving you semantic content as a prior. I'm asking you to real time in my face provide that for me. Provide an epistemic prior in front of my face, like I can do with a chair. If you challenge my epistemics about chairs, I don't just spurg fuck my brain and start looking for more words. I just appeal to ontology. I say, do you have eyes? You say yes. And I say, look at this thing. And you look at that thing. And I say, that's the thing that is the chair. Now go fuck yourself, right? That's as simple as. That's all the atheists have to do is demand the ontos. Allow me to bridge epistemically and apply the prior. But the atheists don't do that. They skip the epistemics and go straight into semantics because they're fucking morons. All right, Dan, let's go. Prove it. If you want to chat through load, you can watch me live stream on YouTube. If you're going to just sit there and not engage with the conversation, you're either going to...
No, I don't know who you were talking to because my name isn't Dan.
I said Din.
You said Dan, like Daniel.
No, I said Din.
Okay, well, we can... All right, so what was the question then?
Can you prove the existence of a God thing?
Like with physical proof.
I'm just asking if you could prove the existence of. If you mean physical is existence, then I guess. Is that what you're saying? Is existence physical?
I don't have physical proof of it. No.
So why would you believe? So you can't prove that it exists?
I can't physically prove it. Like I couldn't hold physical
proof. You keep saying physically. Is there another type of existence?
No.
Okay, so why do you keep saying like wet water? Why are you doing that?
Like I'm just saying physical. Like if I were to hold like the Shroud of Turin like right in front of you, like physical proof. Like I don't have that.
That's a cloth. I'm not asking you to prove a Shroud of Turin. That would be idolatry. Why did you put the Shroud of Turin before your God when I asked you for your God?
Because I'm just pointing out to physical proof. You know, because a lot of atheists they ask for physical proof. So.
Well, I'm not an atheist.
Well, what are you?
I'm an Igtheist. Igtheist.
What is that? It's
a linguistic philosophy I'm using to show you how you have no epistemic content here.
So you're agnostic or atheist?
No, atheism's retarded.
I do agree, yes.
Yeah, and theism is even worse.
How's theism worse?
I'm showing it to you. You lack epistemic content. That's why you're derailing, because you're getting uncomfortable and you don't want to answer the question.
No, I do.
Okay, then answer the question.
I told you I don't have any physical proof of it, so
Right, so
I
then
can
you
only
can't
give
prove the
you-
existence of a God thing.
Well, not with physical proof, no.
You're doing it again. You're saying you can't make wet water and shit. It's like, water is wet, bro. It makes shit wet. That's what it does.
Shut up.
You don't need to, like, say like a cardboard box. If I'm looking at the box, it's card. I see it's, so that you're doing it. You're like, I can't prove it physically. There's no other way to prove what I'm asking. I'm only asking about reality and physicality and what's measurable. Did you do that with God? And it sounds like you didn't.
Well, the last few times I interacted with you, I couldn't either.
Okay, so why was it a struggle for you to get to the point that you can't prove the existence of a God thing?
Because I don't have physical proof of it.
Well, you wouldn't have any proof of it, not in this form. Because if I asked you, does it make you feel good? You could appeal to the stuff that I'm not allowing into the conversation yet. But I'm not asking that question. How it makes you feel? Are you inclined to believe? That's obvious. Those questions are obvious to me. What's obvious to me is that you lack the epistemic bridge. And I believe if I could convince you of that standard, you'll adopt a higher standard. You'll look at the low standard you currently have, and you'll adopt this higher standard, and it'll just evaporate from your brain. If you can connect the importance of having ontological access in your statement about the existence of God, then you can apply that rule to literally anything and determine in real time whether things exist or not. And you'll find that since you lack epistemic content to your God thing, you're not actually believing anything. You have emotions inside your head, and that's what you actually have. When you reference outside ontology, you're doing a category frame shift error. It's because you were programmed to do this from your inception. From the moment you were born in a human culture. And that culture began inculcating you, teaching you how to monkey. Your parents were primed, like they were there day one, ground zero, wiping your butt, all that, teaching you all your steps. They introduced you to people, your grandparents and stuff like that. Your culture convinced you of a proposition with entirely semantic content, absolutely no epistemic content whatsoever for the existence.
Well, I couldn't
of
do
your
all
God.
that as a toddler, so
What do you mean you
it
couldn't
makes
do
sense.
it?
Like I couldn't wipe my own ass when I was
Yeah.
like 4 months old. You know what I mean?
Right. So you affirm that what I said was true, that you were functionally an invalid and you had to learn everything from your parents from scratch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all of us. It's not an insult. That's literally all of us. We all did that.
Yeah.
And then in that process, you're going to pick up a lot of flawed information because in that state, you don't have the cognitive ability to provide pushback, disagreement. You don't even know what's behind you because you have no object permanence, right? There is literally no fucking reality beyond what you can directly perceive. That's what it's like to lack object permanence.
Yeah.
And so during that process, when you had no ability to push back, nor even remember, you have a visceral connection with your parents and they're providing you information and you're learning in real time. The question is the information they provided accurate? If it's not accurate, your infant brain is going to just absorb it up like it would accurate information. It has no idea the difference between a square and a circle. It doesn't know that square circles are not perceivable objects. It literally cannot perform that task, and it's already learning that it needs to remove part of its dick. It needs to be put underwater. It's repeatedly hearing these same chants over and over and over. There are pictures on the wall with consistency that they recognize as a person. This is happening in this developing child's brain, and it just grows up into that with these preconceptions, right? These presuppositions born of telephone, Chinese whispers, baked into their brain from its inception as absolute fucking fact. That's why you believe all this stuff about God. If you Socratically reapproach yourself, if you start looking for God outwards and you start looking for God inwards, you'll start realizing that all of your knowledge about God dead ends at that inculcative pathway. You have no foundation for this belief. You have inculcation, and you're an emotional animal, so you get latched onto that stuff, and you get stuck in this vicious coping mechanism.
Sure.
which is why in a conversation with me, and I'm asking you to demonstrate the ontology, which is critical for you to provide epistemic content, you don't have that. And it's a big, huge red flag. There's something going on in your brain. You've been manipulated and gaslit. That's what the huge flag, the red flag is. Because if you were not manipulated and gaslit, it would be trivial for you to just provide the existence of the thing that for your entire life you've been convinced is there. Like the sun.
There's been times where I've actually been persuaded into being atheist, and
I'm not an atheist. I'm not trying to convince you of atheism. I'm trying to convince you of a standard to employ, which is proper epistemics.
Right. Well, like I'm just saying, like I was convinced that there was no God for a long time.
And you fucked up. There are gods that exist. That's why I'm saying I'm not trying to convince you a God does not exist. I'm trying to convince you of a proper epistemic model. The conclusion that I'm trying to get you to is not God does not exist, nor God exists. The conclusion I'm trying to get you to is that you've been inculcated in gaslighting into a mimetic virus that you try to pass around to other people in hopes that it infects them like it infected you. The problem is you're not my parent and I'm not young. I have a big brain and it's chock full of mimetics to counteract the shit that you got going on. And so you're coming to head with someone who does know how to fight back. If I was an infantile toddler or some shit like that, yeah, you would be having a field day, wrecking my brain and just doing all kinds of damage in there, rooting around, ripping out valid neurological pathways and shit and trying to replace them with these closed loops called cognitive panaceas that you've got all over your mind, that every time you look for an answer to a curiosity that you have a dense vector space that gets your attention and you look towards it, and it's just God. It's just God did it. So every question that you have gets answered by the answer, God did it. That's a cognitive panacea. It's shutting you down from doing a proper investigation. Like, how are you certain about what reality is absent your experience? You have been gaslit not to rely on your experience. That every time you hear the word experience, you think I might be saying empiricism. And I'm not. Empiricism is a model born of experience because nerds have figured out the importance of experience. But right here, when you're faced with reality, the only thing you have is experience in understanding the structure and consistency of reality. You only have your experience.
Mm-hmm.
But you've been taught, you've been abused. You need to be disabused of that. Your senses are the most reliable thing you have access to. Now, you have access to, by way of that port to the outside world, to people like me and Mogi and Autodidactic, who you could say things out loud and we could make similar observations and we can help you and you can help us and we could together collaborate with our shared interrelated experience and build a world that better references what we're seeing, that individually we don't see. If you're sitting across from me, I can't see what's behind me. I have to rely on you to inform me properly of what's behind me. And likewise, you would have to trust me. If we're two soldiers watching a battlefield, I need you to have good powers of deduction. If you don't, or an observation, and if you don't, you're a liability to me. I need to put my head on a swivel. You see what I'm saying? So your ability to deduce information is born from your ability to induce information. That comes from a relationship that you have with your cognition and your abilities to conceptualize in a metacognitive states, right? And you got to do it properly. And when you wait for an observation to then define something, the shit gets clearer and easier to understand. If you go inwards for God, you start looking inwards and start looking for all that semantic content that should be epistemic content and just hitting delete every time you find it, do it, right? You're not deleting the semantic content. You can't delete the concept of a beaver's tail being flat because it's just a combination of flat and tail. You're just putting it together for the beaver in a proper linguistic construct so that I don't tell you it's flat. You're telling me it's flat from observation. When I look at it, yep, it's flat. That's the shared interrelated experience. You can't do that with God. So it's not a shared interrelated experience, which is a huge red flag that this is not part of ontology. This is not part of ontology. And if it's not part of ontology, it is not epistemics. It is semantics.
So how many gods do you think there are?
It depends on the monkey. I don't God. God is, in my book, whatever my interlocutor tells me God is. Sometimes they tell me a thing that exists or a thing that it doesn't exist. I don't care if God exists or not. I care about epistemic access. So if you say God's real and I say what's God and you say God's reality, I have epistemic access to God. Right now I can ask you, is God blue? And the naturalistic pantheist could say, well, some of it's blue, and that statement will be true. I could say, well, is it fat? And then the naturalistic pantheist will say, well, some of it's fat, and that statement will be true. I could fact check it because there's epistemic content. That God exists. Jesus, though, I can't fact check shit on Jesus. I don't have any idea what pigment color, like, was Jesus dark brown, light brown, blue, Chinese, yellow, brown? What color was he? Allegedly, that's semantic content. When you say he had brown, that's semantic. That's just you heard, and you have a word for brown, and you have a word for Jesus, and you're just smushing this, amalgam together in your head, and this alloy comes out, and you're calling it Jesus. But I can't allow that as ontology, right? I can't allow that as a prior. That's not a prior. That's just a description absent the referent it describes. The referent it describes will be the prior. That is the prior that would then go on to establish the semantic value. But you started with semantic value, so that's gaslighting.
I'm just telling you, Jesus was a real person. God's a spirit.
Magic isn't real, therefore God, or Jesus doesn't exist. You would have to convince me of magic first. So that would be step one, convincing me of magic. Because my prime objection against Jesus is magic. I'm not objecting to Jesus. I'm objecting to magic.
Yeah, what kind of magic? Yeah.
I don't care. You pick any one of his things, any one of the things that he did, you do that, and I'll put down all my defenses against magic.
Is it like dark magic, or is it just pulling a rabbit out of a hat?
Is that what Jesus did? He walked around doing dark magic and pulling rabbits out of hats?
No, he did miracles, but
okay,
it was
so
only
I'm saying Jesus magic. You show me Jesus magic, and I'll stop saying Jesus wasn't real. That quick. You show me one resurrection, one walk on water, one cure the blind, one magically turn little food into a lot of food. You show me any one of those things, and I'll stop saying Jesus wasn't real, because then I'll now know that ain't magic. It's weird as shit, but it ain't magic. And so my objection evaporates. My semantic connection to your alleged epistemics is invalid. You would have invalidated by showing and rectifying the epistemic problem. I don't have a semantic problem here. I could come up with Jesus has got tentacles. There's semantics. He's got tentacles on my brain. Like, I'm literally imagining Jesus as part Medusa. I don't have an issue with semantics. I have all the words I need. And probably, look, I don't know all the words and descriptors. There's probably a lot that I don't know. But I can learn them. And I can learn how to use them from observation, right? If I don't know what amorphous undulation means, I can look at a video simulation of an amorphous undulation. And now I'll know. But it will be because I looked at something. I observed and experienced something. And that allowed me to connect it to some semantics in my head. You have semantics of Jesus and magic. I don't have epistemics of Jesus, and I'm asking you for the epistemics, not the semantics. If you just say, hey, I understand that, it's a level 2 spell. Well, okay, demonstrate a level 2 spell. I'm not an atheist. I'm not going to let you be all sneaky and sneak in semantic content as a valid prior. Because if I did that, I'm going to do it, dude. You want me to do that? You want me to use semantic content to establish valid, logical priors? Do you want me to have that power? I have that power. I'm just choosing not to do it to you because I'm an honest interlocutor. I'm a dick, but I'm honest. And that's why I'm not pulling from my imagination to fight you, right? I could do what you're doing. I could say Jesus was purple, actually, and you will have zero evidence to prove that Jesus is not purple and he's more brown. You have nothing. You will just have region, and I'll say, well, yeah, maybe he ate a mushroom and it turned him blue. I don't know, but he's blue. You can't prove me wrong. It's semantically coherent, so it's the same thing you're doing. You're only offering me a semantically, internally consistent model for this alleged Jesus creature. That's not good enough for me. It's never going to be good enough for me. You can give me 900 billion books about semantics of Jesus. I'm asking for ontology. Show me a magic. Just one.
Like physically, or
however magics are done, dude. I don't know magic. I don't believe in magic. I have no interest in telling you the semantic relationship between the epistemics and the semantics and all that I'm not doing that. I'm not a wizard. If I was a wizard, I'd tell you what I needed for you to prove a level 2 spell, bro. But I'm not a wizard.
Well, it's like I do believe in all that stuff is real. It's just if I were to do it,
I've already answered that. Semantics born of inculcation. We've already addressed this. The I believe is entirely semantic. We've established this. There is no epistemic model you're dealing with. It's entirely semantic.
But I'm also telling you, if I were to do any of this so-called magic, that would be a sin against.
You can't. I know you can't do magic. I'm not asking you to demonstrate magic. What I'm doing is what I said before. If you want to find and understand God, stop looking outward and start looking inward. So what I'm showing you by my question, again, I'm manipulating you. I'm just telling you that I'm being honest about it. So I'm asking you a rhetorical question I already know the answer to. You know there's no such thing as magic. I'm just getting you to internally look at the area in your brain where you believe in magic so that you can get embarrassed for believing in that. Walk over there and hit delete. That's what I'm asking you to do. I'm not asking you to cast a fucking spell, dude.
No, I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying I believe in it.
Yeah, and I'm injecting memetics in your brain. I'm attempting to make you feel embarrassed for being an adult who believes in magic, only on semantic content. Eventually, when you get smarter and you develop at stuff, maybe a year, 10 years, or maybe whenever, I don't know when it's going to happen. But one day you're going to be sitting there thinking and you're going to be like, oh, fuck, he was right. And then that's the moment I win in your brain the second time. I've already won the conversation, the debate. Our debate lasted about 10 seconds, okay? When you admitted you could not prove it, I won, bro. I declared it. I win. I'm an Igtheist at that point. I don't actually have to demonstrate the existence of your God. My philosophy will point at you can't prove it, thus you lack epistemic content. That's all I'm trying to prove, and I've done that. This is just for the audience now, so that anybody playing this back can understand how to argue like an Igtheist. Thank you. If I get money off of this video, you can hit me up for 5% of the content on this video, bro. It's Igtheism is the only valid position on the topic of the God thing, live stream number 20. This will eventually be a short, well, not a short, but a shorter version of this. And you can spread that to all your friends and show them, hey, there's this guy out here that has an argument that doesn't require me to have the atheist assumptions and positions and their incoherencies. And it helped me understand how I was making a logical blunder because my parents gaslit me because they loved me. They loved me. They thought they were doing the best thing for me, so they gaslit me into this nonsense. And this dude showed me.
Quick?
Yeah,
Can I say something? I don't think you'd be making any money off the videos because you don't even have enough.
I said if. I'm not expecting to make any money. I'm just saying, in the future, if you ever feel like hitting me up, on the condition that you understand the reason now and you've gotten better, and you think that this video here, and you ask me, hey, in like 10 years, if you made any money on that, I'll look at it, and whatever, I'll give you 5% of whatever I make off of this video. I haven't made shit off this video. I haven't made shit. I'm not looking to make shit. This is just content for people to understand Igtheism. If I want to make money, I'll set up a real YouTube channel and start doing like, quick instructional videos, like stuff like this. I'll pull it out and make a video to instruct someone how to do it. That'll be on another channel that I have that will set up for that. And if people want to monetize that, hey, do that. But this is just a repository of information so that the multitudes of men and women can look at this and see how to argue like an Igtheist and shit on people like you, atheists, and everybody else that's running around culturally gaslighting each other.
I mean, I'm pretty sure your audience would look at me and go, well, we can't expect him to be serious. Look at his name and profile picture. So I don't really...
They don't see your name and profile picture.
Why?
Because I don't have that. I'm streaming it differently. That way you can't put penises and stuff like that. Right? Because I know how you fucking invalids are. You're all triggered fucking retards coming in here being stupid. That doesn't stop my memetics from working. You're hearing me. It's getting in your brain. Unless you've got some fucking neurodegenerative disease, I am forcing you to be a different person. You may not do much change, and that change may come later in life, and I'm fine with that. I don't care. But I'm planting them fucking seeds, buddy.
No, you weren't.
Yes, I am.
You know, I don't know. It's kind of
All
going
I
over my
need
head,
you to do
but-
is listen like you did your parents, dude. That's it. I don't need
Yeah,
you to
that's-
agree with me in real time. You're listening. That's why you're responding to what I'm saying. I don't
Yeah,
need
yeah.
you to agree with that. Listen. I'm not saying anything right now to get you to triggered so that you can fucking interrupt me when I'm talking because you think that by stating a disagreement that you're proving me wrong. You're not proving me wrong. And anybody that understands memetics knows you're fucking retarded. If you don't want my memetics getting in your brain, you need to stop listening to me. There is no way to hear what I'm saying and my memetics not affect you. That's a logical contradiction. And that's how fucking retarded you are. I don't care that you're a clown. I'm using you. I told you this. I'm using you. I am manipulating you. You mean nothing to me beyond that. All I'm trying to do is unpoison your mind so that when an invalid like you finally breathes, it doesn't child abuse their own kid. That's all I'm doing. If you want to continue child abusing your child, you fucking do that. That's on you. You'll be the one responsible for that shit.
I don't
I'm
have
only
kids.
trying to help your child and you.
Okay.
And, you know, I'm saying all the things that I would say to a serious interlocutor. So anybody listening to this, they're hearing what I'm saying. And they hear that you, instead of having a decent conversation, are extricating yourself from it because you're a retard. You're an invalid and your parents did this to you. So you have no logical out here. So you're just going to fall back on the class clown attitude. Well, I was a class clown and I know why I was a class clown. So I know why you're a fucking clown. You're a clown for the same reason anyone's a clown. You're an embarrassed piece of shit. You don't have the proper memetics to think properly. That's what's going on here. So you're acting out. Instead of doing a display where you're showing that you're learning, you're putting on a display that you don't need to learn because you're just a fucking class clown. Everybody knows what a class clown is, and it's sad. It's sad. Class clowns are sad. They're abused, little traumatized children that are trying to make everybody else feel bad when they're only trying to cope with their own horrible insides. So go ahead, keep acting like a piece of shit. You're not affecting me. All you're doing is helping me help other people.
By doing what? You're giving false info.
I'm not giving any false info, retard. I'm talking about my
Yes, it
philosophy
is.
and people are hearing me say it.
Yeah, I don't know, because I've never heard of Igtheist before.
Yeah, because you're a fucking invalid. You've been living under a fucking rock, dude. If you're in the realm of philosophy, you may have come in contact with it. It's not a widely spread philosophy. It's not for the multitudes and the masses. The masses are fucking stupid. Think about it. We always say that. The masses are fucking stupid. People are great individually, but you put them in herds and they're violent. They're crazy. I don't give a shit that there's more dumbass fucking atheists with stupid fucking responses. And I don't give a shit that there's more fucking brain dead, deluded fucking retards whose parents gaslit them. That's not a problem for my philosophy. My philosophy is engineered to help you two fucking groups. That's what it's engineered for, is to help you two groups of fucking morons pull your head out of your fucking ass and get a real goddamn philosophy. This is why you're butthurt. That's why when people listen back on this shit, they ain't hearing you shit on me. They're hearing me shit on you.
So they're just hearing it one side of.
No, they're hearing you. They'll hear you. They'll hear you do nothing but act like a fucking clown. That's what they'll hear.
Well, then show the whole picture then.
I am showing the whole picture. They didn't come here for your clown ass face. They came here for your clown ass mouth. And they came here for my clown ass mouth. They just like what I say. People that enjoy what I say probably don't enjoy what you say. I'm giving you the floor, but you're just saying nothing. You're a clown. That's why. You've been a clown your entire fucking life. All of our interactions, you're just a clown. Because you're a low IQ moron that's triggered that your life sucks. People like me, you know, I'm just trying to fucking help you and you don't get it. You're just a triggered asshole.
What
How are-
picture do you think
how
he's
are
not
you-
showing?
How are you happier than me? You don't even have God in your life, so.
I didn't say anything about being happy.
Oh dear.
Did I say
Empty
anything about being
is the
happy?
enemy. No, but you think you're living better than me, though.
Did I say anything like that? Did I say I think I'm living better than
You're
you?
making a lot of assumptions.
Yeah,
But
because he's
just listen
gaslit.
to the insults.
He's
Listen to
tricked.
the
There's
insults.
no. I didn't insult you. There was no insults. I'm giving you a negative character evaluation. Every insult that I'm using lands. It's real. It's true. You're just hurt because it's bad. I didn't sit here and say, "Oh, you're fat or ugly or you're stupid." I didn't
Oh,
say
you just
any of
kept
that
saying
shit
retard. You just kept saying
Yeah.
retard.
because that's what it is. It's retardation. What do you think delayed development is? If I deny access to proper memetics to my developing infant and they don't progress in life and they lack the aptitude scores in order to perform higher functions, that's called retarded. If I deny access to memetics that help you learn, that is retarding you. This is why we educate our children. When they're born, we indoctrinate them K through 12 so that they're what? Not retarded. Because what is education? It is memetics. It's set up to teach children at ages by professionals. We are manipulating their brains to learn because at 12th grade, we want them competent. If they're not, and they're incompetent, they are invalids. They can't do the task. They perform low. Their aptitudes are drained. They are retarded. I am calling you retarded because you are retarded. All of us are retarded. We socially gaslight each other with bad memetics. Of course we're all retarded.
It's just how you were saying it. I don't really know.
Yeah, because you're a triggered asshole and your memetics are set up to hear it that way.
How am I triggered?
Because you're only now beginning to hear it. I'm not just shit talking. I'm saying a bunch of negative shit because a bunch of negative shit happens. Happened to you, happened to me, happened to a person that is interested in listening to these kinds of videos, happened to atheists. It's what we do. And theists are predominantly in control, and they're the ones that have unfettered access, and they just trauma dump their whole life story into their own fucking infant.
Well, also, my parents didn't teach me about Christianity.
Oh, okay. Is your name Romulus or Remus? That's the only way this line of reasoning is going to land. You were born in a culture. I don't give a fuck about your fat mom and your fucking diseased dad. They're irrelevant to the fucking story. They're just a way for you to cognitively try to slip around. You didn't raise yourself. Your culture, your village raised you. That's what I'm referring to. If you thought I meant parents, after I had specifically and earlier stated that I'm referring to all the people around you, it's because you're a triggered asshole and you're triggered, not allowing you to hear the words that I'm saying. If you would listen, if you get past being triggered, I'm not making shit up. It would serve me nothing to gaslight you. It would serve me nothing to detail you the inculcative manipulative pathway of gaslighting and then use that exact fucking technique on you. That would make no sense now, wouldn't it?
Well, pretty much everything you've been saying
It would make
sense.
perfect sense for me to gaslight and manipulate a low IQ, cognitively delayed retard, because that's the only way a cognitively delayed retard understands shit. This is why it's like this. This is why you're not getting it. You're a low-functioning, cognitively delayed person. This is the nature of your pushback. The sooner you recognize that, the sooner you could start getting your brain out of this molasses. It's not a permanent condition, but there is delay. You've already been delayed. You're whatever age you are right now. It could start today where you could get caught back up. You got to work hard and think about a lot of shit. There's a bunch of philosophies you got to interact with. There's a bunch of ideas inside your brain, and they're all born of this same pathway. It's a long process, but it begins when you give a shit about the stuff that you believe, the logical structure, whether it's valid and sound and all that bullshit. When you start living by a higher standard is when you'll begin unfucking your brain. I'm just planting the memes, bro. That's all I'm doing. I'm just trying to get in your brain, trigger you so that you get into a high emotional state and your amygdala starts firing while I start dumping all of my own personal traumas and stuff that I learned throughout my life going through the same fucking shit you've been through. So that's all that's happening. That's why I said the more you listen to me, the more my memetics get in.
But like, what if you're saying what you're saying doesn't make any sense? Then what's it doing?
Everything that I'm saying makes perfect sense. What if, here, instead of asking me that question, what if your statement there was to show me how it doesn't make sense? But you didn't choose to do that because you don't have that, and you're just trying to trigger me and make me like you. Problem is I'm already like you. I've just transcended your fucking mentally deluded state. I remember being a dumb fuck on the internet, being all triggered that some people were right and I was wrong, and they were saying a bunch of mean things about me. I remember being that, but I learned that's the difference. Got on this motherfucker as a Southern Baptist, dude. That's what I thought I was. I was a Southern Baptist deist, bro. I wasn't even a Southern Baptist. I was told I was a deist, got fucking triggered and be like, no, I ain't no fucking deist. And as soon as I got banned, you know what I did? The moment I was
Started a
banned,
YouTube channel.
nope, I went to Google and I typed in, what is deism? Guess what I read? Perfect fucking description of what I was arguing. I was arguing deism and I was saying I was a Christian. These fucking assholes couldn't tolerate me. They banned me, got rid of me, couldn't deal with an obstinate fucking retard gaslighting them that a Christian is a deist. That's what I was doing. Then I found another chat room, and guess what happened there? Got my shit pushed in by a bunch of atheists. They didn't ban me, though. You know why? Because we were talking, and they were having fun triggering a fucking powder keg, watching a fucking Christard, deluded Christard who is actually a deist, spurg, and say a bunch of stupid shit in their fucking chat. But that fucking idiot who was spurging as a fucking deist, thinking he's a Christian, was listening to what they were fucking saying. Listening to their fucking logic and being like, oh shit, they're true about that, and introspecting. That's probably what you're not doing. You're not letting it land, but it's fine. It's absolutely fine, because I've learned in my life what the power of memetics is, and all I got to do is say it, and that's much more effective than giving a fucking shit if you state agreement with me. I don't give a fuck if you agree me, dude. I don't give one fucking shit. You agree with me, you just become boring and I go find something else. You disagree me, that gives me the opportunity to teach someone else and learn from myself. If I could learn from you more about fucking reality, I'd be fucking listening, but you're an invalid. You don't know shit because your parents fucked your brain up.
They really didn't. But
Yeah, they did. They fucked it all up. Look at you. You're a fucking invalid. You're cognitively vapid, dude. Look at you. All you're doing is talking about things that are irrelevant to proving me wrong about everything that I've just said about you. You're not
'cause it's
saying
almost
anything
what
like that.
you're saying is agnostic, or it's just, I don't even know what you're, paganism. That's probably what it
Dude,
sounds
right
like.
now I'm just psychoanalyzing your trauma in your life. Dude. That's all I'm doing. I'm psychoanalyzing why you are like you, why all of you fucking cookie cutter fucking clones are the same.
Yeah, you're playing psychologist right now.
Yes,
It's not
I
really
am.
getting it.
I
It's not getting
detailed it.
anywhere.
I've been detailing it out loud so that people know how to do this technique.
What do you
Right.
even think the word paganism means?
It just means like multiple gods. That's what he was saying.
No, that's not what it
Yeah,
means.
that's not what it
It
means.
is.
No, look it up.
It
Don't have
basically
to be
means
no-
not
not
Christian.
of the. It means not of the major religions.
Yeah.
So it means you're not a Jew, you're not Islamic, and you're not Christian.
Means they
It's
believe
basically,
in people.
basically, it's a word Christians use to express contempt.
Like, what do
It's
you mean?
basically a word explicitly used for pride, just to say I'm better than you.
Well, he said that Jesus was blue and
No,
had
that's
that.
all the word pagan means. It doesn't
Yeah.
actually describe anything meaningful. It just means you're not like me, you're below me. That's the
That's
only
not-
word pagan means.
And I didn't say Jesus was blue. I said if someone claimed Jesus was blue, that would be a non sequitur.
Maybe you mean Gentiles.
Just like when you say God loves me, that's a non sequitur.
Well, why wouldn't that be true?
Because it's absolute. There's a referent, God, and the action of love interaction with me. So there's two things, me and God, and then there's a relata of what we're describing here, the relationship that me and God have, which is love. Absent the relationship, there's no relata love. Absent God, there's no relationship. You haven't provided the God, so there's nothing for me to consider or evaluate the love connection, the love relationship. I have no relata of me that is love with God. That's not real. I am part of the relationship, like with you. Do you think I love you? Do I think you love me? What is our relata? We would look at our relationships. Does either of these individuals show any kind of adoration towards one another? Is there anybody in this conversation that's trying to help the other person, even though that other person's been nothing but a fucking asshole to them and gaslit them and lied and manipulated their way through the conversation? Is there anyone in this conversation that could be said to have loved the other one, done anything altruistic for them with no return, investment, anything? Is there anybody that you can associate a love relata with in this room with you over a love relata with Jesus or God? Yeah, there are several people. Everybody in this room has said something to you, and it's been trying to help you. And so that's a display of affection. Now, I will say, as an ethical misanthrope, there's not much there. But I do have love for my fellow man. That's why I hate them, because they're so fucking dog shit and they're morons and they gaslight their own fucking children, right? The idiots. See how this is tracking? So you want to say that there's a relata of me and God and you don't have the relata. So it's vacuous. It means nothing. But you've been convinced through semantics that the statement is good enough. But it's not good enough. I need epistemic content. I need the relata. Absent the relata, it's a non sequitur. It doesn't logically follow that God loves me. There's no relata. It doesn't logically follow that God does not love me. There's no relata. Therefore, since it's both a not true statement for both conditions, which is just the inverse of each other, it's a contradiction. Your statement is a contradiction because you lack observation. Simple as, bro.
I just have a different truth than you do. I don't know.
Yeah, I use correspondence theory of truth. And in order for there to be a correspondence, you would have the statement, God loves you, reflect the state of affairs, the referent.
Is that different from yours?
It's a question. What are you observing in reality to indicate a God existing in reality?
Huh?
You're saying God participates in reality, right?
Yeah. He works
All right.
outside of time.
What did you observe in reality to indicate that?
Like, I've had changes happen in my life. Positive
Yeah,
changes.
but changes happen in your life without God's intervention too, right?
No, it was with his intervention.
But I'm also saying that things change in your life without God's intervention too, right?
No.
Oh, so free will doesn't exist by your
No,
light?
because there's been multiple times where it should have been
Right. So if someone with free will does something, is that God intervening, or is that them doing their free will?
It's them choosing their own free will, but that's
Right.
I thought what you meant was, like, has he ever intervened in my life when I needed
Well,
it?
has someone has so you things can change without God intervening, right?
Well, like, it depends if you ask him or not. He doesn't
Just focus
take
on
away
the
people's
question he's
free will.
asking you, man.
Holy shit, man. I've given you an example of someone with free will affecting you. Is that God or not?
That's them using their own free will.
Is that
to
God
God
or
or
not?
not?
It's them.
Right, so it's not God doing that. That's not God intervening.
No, he intervenes when he has to.
So you have experiences, right? You have change that's happened to you that you claim to be that come from a God, and there you have changes that happen to you that don't come from a God, right? You
Yes.
need a symmetry. You need a symmetry breaker between the two.
Like, I mean, a human being has free will to go and attack another. So, like,
Yeah,
that's
we
not
get
him.
that. No,
That's a human
what
being
we're
doing.
showing you, what we're introducing you right here is that in your mind, you recognize there are two different things happening. Things happening
Yeah.
with God's intervention and things happening without God's intervention. Do you agree?
Yes.
I got more, but do you agree to that?
Yes.
Okay, because of that, what we're saying is you need a specific set of rules that allows you to differentiate those actions between an action being interventional or an interventionary or non-interventionary. What is your model that you use to distinguish between miracle and non-miracle? Let me give you an example. Let's just say this lighter right here, somehow, according to the laws of quantum dynamics, this can happen. At random, this whole lighter could just vaporize. It could just turn into fucking energy. And if it does, my whole fucking city is gone, bro. Like, shit's fucked if that happens. Now, it could have been the case that 10 minutes ago, this lighter just went fucking, it detonated. But God paused time, fixed the equation, and then let time unfold and go by just fine. Whereas no one knew the miracle that occurred. So it would seem non-interventionary, even though it was interventionary. So you need a good model to differentiate between what is and isn't interventionary. And you don't have one. So how are you able to confidently state any of the things that you observed change were interventionary changes versus non-interventionary changes?
Well, like, for example, like 5 years ago, suicide intervention, there was times that I should have died, and miraculously I'm still here. So
Okay, dude, I've helped people commit, not commit suicide, but who have committed suicide in a professional setting, helped suicide people. You understand?
Yeah.
Okay, people who commit suicide. There are a lot of reasons. why someone would commit suicide. Not all of them are bad reasons. You know, we characterize assisted suicide, right? Like many people in this country commit suicide and we don't even think about it, right? When someone's at end of life and they're given that high dose of morphine, that is assisted suicide. That high dose of morphine kills them. It puts them in a low respiratory state and they just pass. They just die. It's one of the best ways you can fucking die. It's the most humane way because you feel good in your transition from cognition to non-cognition because it's a good feeling. It's a drug. You get doped the fuck out and you ease the transition to death. So lots of people commit suicide. What we're really concerned about are the reasons that people commit suicide. And if people are committing suicide young and without ailment and stuff like this, this goes into a psychological reason why they're committing suicide. And those are the ones we really care about. We don't care that people have these medical reasons to kill themselves or, you know, they're in torture and they have the out and they just, you know, they end it. Those make sense. But the ones when people are normal and functioning, air quotes, normal and functioning, not real, no normal. But when we look at someone and we say otherwise, like why otherwise? Why not just keep living? Everyone's got their reasons why they live and everyone's got their reasons why they want to die. Suicidality is not an unnatural thing. What you did is not just ideations. These were targeted. You had a plan. This is why when you have suicidal ideations, they ask you, do you have a plan? Because if you don't have a plan, you're fucking normal. You're thinking about shit. Shit's difficult. You're having these thoughts. You just want to end it, but you need good coping mechanisms to get to the other side of that. And that's what those kinds of therapeutic responses are for when you have a deficit. What is causing a deficit in a person's life that they even approach suicidality? If anybody listens to me, they wouldn't, you know, they would be like, why hasn't this guy? I'm a miserable sack of shit, dude. I hate myself. I hate humanity. Why haven't I killed myself, right? There are questions here. Do I have suicidal thoughts? Yes, just like anybody else. But I don't plan them, right? This is the distinction. When people go to planning them, it is a cry for help that they never got. They're either crying for help then, or they cried for help and everyone fucking ignored them, and they're moving to this. It's not a bad thing to cry for help. It's a good thing to cry for help. And it's a bad thing to deny people's cries for help. And obviously, in your life, there were people who were not there for you to listen to your cries for help for whatever they were. Maybe you kept them to yourself. Maybe you had no reason to cause anybody else harm or anything like that. Many suicidal people don't want other people to know. They don't, but there's patterns of behaviors associated with that stuff where they put on a good Robin Williams face, but every fucking day they want to blow their brains out. This is the reality of life, and this is the cautionary tale of many fucking people. I know many people directly in my family. My brother's killed himself. Outside my family, I have direct friends in my life that have killed themselves. I've known a lot of people that have killed themselves, and all of them had their fucking reasons. Every single fucking one of them had their fucking reasons. They didn't have good reasons. They had understandable reasons, right? So if you have suicidality, be glad that you're in a world that actually fucking loves you. Be glad you're in a fucking world while professionals are out there constructing models to help people like you, to prevent death because you did something or to prevent death because you're thinking something. But the point here is to get fucking help, right? Not just kill yourself. Get fucking help, and if that help you can't get, fucking learn to not need the fucking help, dude. That's the advice of someone who is pro the decision. If you make that decision, it's up to you, right? It's your life. But you got to remember, if there are people in your life, if you have empathy, one way that you could stay alive is understanding the suffering you will cause them in your death. Let them live with your condition if you care about them. You can latch on to things like that that have nothing to do with you wanting to kill yourself or not. Just recognize people depend on you and turn yourself into a fucking tool for helping them, right? Or don't take any of this fucking advice and do whatever the fuck you want to do, because I don't fucking give a shit about your goddamn life. I'm not here to fucking emotionally stabilize yourself. I'm an emotionally unstable person. I'm only here to unfuck your brain and get you to see that there are different paths. There are different ways to understand human psychology that don't involve teaching your children about pedophilic fucking material and twisting their fucking brain around into thinking that they're little pieces of shit that are going to be tortured their whole fucking existence. That doesn't fucking help suicidality at all. If anything, telling a child that it is a useless piece of shit, were it not for that fucking monster on the goddamn wall, if absent that, there would probably be less suicidality in this fucking world. And probably better models to help those who do have suicidal ideations. If you do have suicidal ideations, get help. Don't listen to fucking me. I'm a fucking invalid. Go listen to a fucking professional.
And not only that, but you have a lack of reasoning, because what you're doing is you're saying is, hey, I had this experience that I wanted to commit suicide, but I might have prayed or done something, asked for God for help, and I didn't kill myself. But the issue you're using here is you're saying is B, therefore A. But in order for you to have that experience or contribute that experience to something, A must exist in the first place. Well, how do you know A exists in the first place? You're just going to go to B. B, therefore A. Then A, therefore B. B, therefore A. A, therefore B. See how it's a vicious circle? Like, you're not adding anything new here. You're not moving on here. So it's actually, it's form of like begging the question of what's going on here. So you're using one thing to justify, you're using the very thing to justify the God thing, but you need the God thing in order to justify this experience.
Yes.
Oh, and he left.
Vicious circle. He's just playing on our fucking emotions. There ain't shit we could do for that fucking guy. If it's true, you know, sorry for you, man. I understand. My brother did it. You know, I've lost 8 people to suicide in my fucking life, bro. So it's a real fucking problem. But you know, when we bring that kind of baggage to a conversation, it really shows a level of manipulation that's difficult to get through, because whether it's manipulation from malice, like let's say he's never thought of suicide in his life and he's just saying that because he's playing on our heartstrings, that's a very evil person. That's a very bad person that would do that. Try to gaslight people because on the threat of he'll kill himself, try to put that fucking emotional baggage on me. I don't want anybody to kill themselves, but I'm not going to change a single fucking belief I have in my brain to stop someone from killing themselves. It's not going to work anyway. I can't stop believing what I believe because you're butthurt. That's not a factor of my belief. People are dying right now. Little kids are dying of starvation. This one fucking loss, you know, look, it because of the contact and stuff, would it cause me suffering? Absolutely. It causes me suffering every fucking day. Why do you guys think I constantly remind people about distended abdomens and shit? Because these are the fucking visions I fucking have. Whenever God talks to me, it's like rotten fucking carcasses and shit. That's all I ever fucking think about when I close my fucking eyes is viscera. Human fucking viscera and the death on scales that I can't even begin to fucking imagine. Look at Gaza, dude. Like, when I see a happy video, I get fucked in my head. I can't do it because it's a memory of a time long gone, right? It's not there anymore for me. This world is fucking horrible. Living with our fucking heads in the sand is just making it worse. It's time that we be adults. We address the ugly so that we can fix it. We are gaslighting the fuck out of our children in the most divisive in-group, out-group fucking dynamics that has ever existed on this fucking planet. Like, it's crazy. And at some point, we're going to fucking either annihilate each other or just learn to fucking coexist. Those are our options, people. Everybody fucking knows it too.
I watched a video where, like, there's a Palestinian guy, and I guess you like meet new people. It randomly chooses a video for meet new people, and there was a girl from Israel, and he's like, "Oh, I'm Palestinian." She like all of a sudden got upset and started spitting at the camera and like punching the camera just because he said he was Palestinian.
Yeah, that's you know, that's a level of dehumanization right there. That's high level dehumanization that you can't even look at an individual. I mean, dude, I hate so many fucking people and for so many good reasons, and I can still put that shit in like in a sandbox, you know, for cultural interactions. I just fucking hate how fucking goddamn hostile our species is. Shit gets me so fucking triggered. But yeah, you got fucking monsters out there. I hate that breezy politics, man. Their videos are so good, dude. And every time they scroll by, dude, it's just like, fuck. All that shit, dude. When I was younger, I don't think I really cared as much. When I was younger, like 15 years ago, I always cared. But, you know, just kind of eats at you, I guess. I don't know. I definitely noticed in the last 10 years my shit getting more cynical.
Yeah, I go in spurts. Oh, go ahead.
System reset, by the way.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, just started though.
It's funny because his dog Max, he goes, and who's the goodest boy?
Is there an accompanying dog sound effect or whatever? Is there a voice actor for
No,
dog?
no, it's just the he says, oh, he nuzzled my nose, like, because the food he's eating, like, and the stuff that happens to him, he gets more sentient.
Well, I'll let it unfold.
Yeah, it's not a big portion of the plot line by any stretch of imagination, but like, I don't know how far you got into it, but like, did he download the system or get the system yet?
Not even first dungeon.
Oh, but he got the system though, right?
Yeah. He's about to go to the first dungeon.
Yeah, so so basically he got the system, and he only really did it for Max, his dog Max.
Yeah, I mean the character development's a little shaky. I think in the execution.
I'm sorry, what was that? Say that again.
Well, it's like there was the lamenting the past relationship, not being so comfortable with losing the wedding ring.
Oh yeah, that wedding ring. It's like that is like after he gets the system, he still has it, but he did it for Max, right? But now his goal is to get that ring back. You know what I mean? Because that's like his one true thing he absolutely loved in this world. You know what I mean? Him and his wife and his dog.
I mean, no, it's fine. It's fine as a character like trait. It's just the beginning was a little weird about it. I'm not quite sure how to describe it exactly. But yeah, I just finished like book 3 of the series called The Legend of William O, and I really liked it. It's like a tower climbing one where the dude has to like you catch monsters and you give sacrifices to like upgrade your stuff or like go through get online in the system. And he got like backstabbed, and so he was like, hey, I only have 2 sacrifices, what else should I sacrifice? My left forearm. Let's do that. And then he gets in a party with a really smart kobold who raises insects. And then that goes from there. It's more like what is it? Knit and gritty, rough and tumble. What's like what do they call those things in Shadowrun? What's the profession? Just Shadowrunner? Isn't that what it is?
Oh, I don't know. I don't play that game.
You never played World of Darkness?
Nope.
It's a good tabletop. Like D6 system, I think is better than D20 personally.
It's D10. What was it? What were you trying to ask about? Shadow something.
I was trying to. I was just trying to sell the vibe of the book, and it's like the knit and gritty
of World of Darkness.
Of World of Darkness, or
that's cool.
Shadowrunning. What's that thing based in Seattle? Like where it's all future cyberpunk. You gotta just do sketchy underground gigs. You get the idea.
Are you like the what are they, technocrats? The technocracy.
Yeah, I think that was part of it. That was one of the factions or something like it.
Yeah, the technocrats, the technocracy are like they're wizards, I think.
Then you got like cyber shamans or some shit.
I don't know if we played that. We played mage a little bit. I played mage like 2 or 3 times. It's pretty dope. We mostly played vampire, a little bit of werewolf, but I mostly played vampire.
And that's World of Darkness?
Yeah, if you don't know what I just said, vampire is a subset of the World of Darkness. So vampire means like a whole ass like D&D, right? Like Faerun, Forgotten Realms. So that's what vampire means. And then in that same universe is a game system called Werewolf. And that's how to play all the werewolves, just like vampires, all the different kinds of vampires. And then mage, and mage is all the different kind of wizards. And then in that, they all got factions and stuff and different groups or whatever. And so their whole like, a lot of content. It's not, you know, you got to think of it as each one of its own playing model, but you can cross-reference them. They can all be used together. So the World of Darkness has a bunch of like templates for kind of world generation for your DM.
Ah, I see.
I think World of Darkness is probably one of the funnest worlds of it. I think I like the world itself over Dungeons and Dragons, but what always triggered me about World of Darkness is that most people live action the shit. So, and I don't like LARPing. So, I mean, I see why they do it because it's fun. I used to go to the LARP events because, you know, there were people to talk to, smoke weed and shit. But they, you know, it's cool watching them act and shit. I tried it one time, but the dude put his fucking hands on me and, you know, I almost fought him and shit. So I just was like, fuck it, I don't want to do this.
Oh, that kind of LARPing.
Yeah, like you're supposed to act like he didn't mean nothing by it, you know. Like looking back, I was a fucking asshole, but he put his, you know, he went up to attack my Bruja, and he like said, you know, I'm attacking him, and he put his hands on my like jacket area because I was wearing a leather jacket, but not in real life. I wasn't wearing a leather. And he put his hands up on me like he was grabbing my character's leather jacket, and I just didn't like that shit. I was like, you're not gonna put your fucking hands on me. You're too goddamn close to me right now. In fact, like back the fuck up. And we started. He didn't get it because I didn't get it. And it was my fault. You know, it's not his fault. He was just being a nerd. You know.
Happens.
But yeah, I didn't want to do it, but all my friends like peer pressured me into playing and shit. So I made a character named Ugg. And yeah, it was.
I don't think I've done like the street stuff. I keep hearing stories of kind of like dysfunctional social groups, so to speak.
They can be. I mean, the way that it was for us, it was like more like 4 or 5 groups all coming together at a place called Bard's Tale, and we would play in their back parking lot and shit. But I'd usually just kind of sit on the wall and get high with, you know, all the people, drink some alcohol or something, and then just watch the nerds just play. They were acting and yelling and fake fighting and shit. It was kind of fun.
Yeah, we got a little area that had a bunch of like, I had like a food court or whatnot, and then there used to be a Wizards of the Coast there. Just yeah, some people would gather, do board games.
Yeah, I heard good things about Legend of the book.
UH or what?
Yeah, it's newer, but it's the Legend of like UH.
Yeah, the one I was reading is Legend of William O.
And I was playing the Legend of Dragoon.
Yeah, that's the series I really like. I read all 3 books.
I think I played a Legend game with I think Legend of the Red Dragon. Is that what the name is? Yeah, that's it. Legend of the Red Dragon. How old is this fucking thing? 89. Yeah, I didn't play it in 89. It's probably early 90s sometime. Yeah, like probably around 93 or something. They have it say it, or the martial arts action film in 94, but it came out in 89. So yeah, it's probably around 93-ish, 90, early 90s. It was all text-based role-playing game.
Yeah, I guess people like the book.
I played quite a few text-based games. You remember Crime Wars?
Yeah, where you sold drugs at the different airports.
Yeah, and you kind of like could go on and fuck up all of your opponent's thing. It was an online-based game in the 90s.
Oh, I was thinking of different one. But yeah, I know that one. I had buddies. My buddies played that one. I never got into it, but they had that on the BBS.
Yeah, and then I had a bunch of Gmuds, which were all text-based online role-playing games that were like black text, and you had to type everything out. Pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, that's how I met the nerds that I knew in my life, was playing online BBSs and shit like that. And, you know, from school. That shit was all like, they were locals. Like everybody you knew on the internet was fucking, well, there wasn't no internet. They were all people, you had their phone number. You had to call their house.
Hey, get off the computer. I need to make a phone call.
Oh, I know. Me and my mom and dad used to fight all the time. They would get on my nuts, and I'd get yelled at and shit, because, like, when I did finally log off and, like, their friends were allowed to call, they'd be like, dude, I've been calling for hours. Calling on fuck dad. So they eventually got me my own phone line. It wasn't so bad for them when, because you couldn't always do, what was it, *67 or whatever, and then it would make it to where no one could call. So you do star 6-7. You didn't always have that ability though. Like they had to invent that for assholes like us, where where before like you called someone's house, if you're online it just interrupted. It like interrupted your shit, and then you'd pick up the phone and be like, hey, what's up? What the fuck you calling and shit. But then they invented star 6-7 and it blocked people from calling you, and then that's when everybody started switching to getting 2 telephones. But it wasn't long after that, a couple more years, and then cable came out, and then it stopped being a problem. But it was probably a good 5 years of online gaming before cable internet came out.
Dude, I downgraded the DSL at one point. I had it for way too long.
I never had DSL. I just went straight from the phone line, whatever that shit's called, to coaxial.
Dial up.
Yeah, dial up I meant the actual wire, whatever phone wire it is. My first modem was a 2400 baud modem.
Not even K.
Yeah, it was 2400. I remember my buddy, he lived around a corner down in another neighborhood, and his dad was an architect. So his architect firm always had to have the best 3D graphics and shit. So every time a new card come out or anything new part, that company had it, they were on it and they upgraded, and he just got to take home the parts. So what his dad ended up doing was just switched out all the brand new parts for his son, my buddy. And so he always had the the best computer. It was crazy. He was a cool kid though. He wasn't like a dick about it. He was a cool kid. But yeah, he was. I remember when the K come out, because he had the he went straight to 28.8, and I was still on. I think I was on 9600 at the time, and that's when I learned about. I was like, K, what do you mean? What? And he was like, yeah, there's like 14 out. And I was like, there's like 14s out. And I think I upgraded to a 14.
Commodore?
No, 1400 or 14,000. Like there's 28.8 modems, 28.8 baud.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And at the time, I was on 9600. And then I upgraded, I believe, to the 14.4, I think it is.
So you're like 4 kilobits per second, bro.
It's bad. Yeah, I mean, bro, in that era, if you wanted to look at porn, what porn surfing was reading text, right? It would be like it'd be like a redhead on her bed, spread eagle. That would be the description, and you would just read the descriptions, and then if you thought you might like one, you clicked on it, and then you looked in the top left hand corner of your screen for that first pixel to come in, a little block. Bam, there it is. It would just slowly move across the top of the screen, and then the next line. And it would just go across it. There were times that it would be early in the morning, I go and I want to look at a boobie and shit, so I click on it and go to school, come back and hope nobody called and shit. There were half boobies. Sometimes I come home and be a half boobie. Somebody called and fucking interrupted it and shit. There weren't no thumbnails, none of that shit, man.
All right, Rice. You ready to begin? Rice, you there?
Yeah.
Greetings.
Greetings. Yes, what are we beginning? I was confused. You were talking to me, asking that question.
Do you believe God exists in reality?
No.
So you cannot demonstrate
I'm
one to
agreeing
exist,
with the point.
So you cannot demonstrate one to exist, right?
Sorry, there's noise. That's why I'm muting. But wait, demonstrate what? I do believe with the point you put on. I don't think God is
Right.
real.
So if you believe there is no God, you cannot prove the position wrong, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm not here to prove this position wrong. I'm just here to listen to random people talk.
All right, we accept your concession. You lose. We win. You're ex-nerd.
Fucking dominated.
Absolutely fucking dominated. Wrecked. Holy crap.
It's funny.
Yeah, but it's true, though, still at the same time. How it's funny, but it's true.
Which actually makes it more funny.
Yeah. Yeah, it's sort of becomes an inside joke then for us, What's it like having a philosophy that is that easy to force you to concede?
Here's the thing, though. I feel like the name of this specific channel is perfect because of that. Because a lot of people say, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. But it's just I feel like even people coming in here and then they believe God is real and all that. The logic is perfect because a lot of people's logic is God is real, right? Now in my logic that God is real, you have to prove that he's not, and they put like religious texts on. But the
What?
basis of yours is
What?
that it's not real.
What are you talking about? No, that's bait. I don't believe that stupid ass title. It's dumb. That title's stupid.
Yeah. I think I like the title. I love it.
Well, I know, because you're probably an atheist, right?
I am an atheist.
Well, there you
That's
go.
what I said.
I disagree with atheism and theism. It's a false dichotomy.
You disagree with both?
All of them. It's not a dichotomy. It's not two options. It's not this or that. It's the multitude versus less of a multitude. That's not a dichotomy. A dichotomy is either A or not A. Dichotomies in this form, A and not A, those kind of dichotomies are not A and B. A and B dichotomies are when A is one thing and only one thing, and B is one thing and only one thing. So hot dog or cheeseburger, right? That's a dichotomy. But if you say any kind of sandwich-like substance or any kind of soup-like substance, well, that's not dichotomous in that form. There's a multitude of either. I could pick, one kind of soup and a specific kind of thing over here, like a sandwich, like a grilled cheese, right? Like tomato sauce and grilled cheese, boom, right? It's not dichotomous. You have a plethora of options with a dichotomous solution to it, but that's not a dichotomy. Dichotomy is not a dichotomous solution. So once we've gone through the dichotomous solution of atheism versus theism, we need another dichotomous solution. What kind of theism? Boom, monotheism or polytheism. Well, that's still not good enough because under monotheism, there's multiple, one true and only God. So now we need another dichotomous solution. Which one? So now we bifurcate that branch, right? You keep doing that. What do you end with? There's no coherent category. That's why we've been bifurcating in this conversation. If there's a coherent category, we'd just appeal to that. And an atheist would be right. You could just reject all gods. There isn't. Some gods exist, some gods don't exist. I just don't know what makes things gods other than monkeys pointing at it and calling them God. And if it's just a monkey pointing at stuff and calling it God, then yes, sometimes they exist and sometimes they don't. So I don't know what the atheist is actually denying when it could literally be anything. God is whatever your interlocutor tells you God is, unless you have a God. If you have a God, then you could say, no, that's not God. It's the only way that you could say that's not God is if you have a God that you're comparing their statement to. But if you don't have a God and you don't know what gods are, why would you say a thing is not a God? That doesn't make any logical sense.
Okay, I'm trying to dumb it down for myself. So you're saying basically the logic of some people believe in the universe and they're atheists because they don't believe in God. And that's like the whole logic because you basically do believe in something and that is your God.
Well, it would just be saying that there is a person who believes that reality is God. And if you deny the existence of all gods, then one of the gods you're denying exists is reality.
Yeah.
Which you wouldn't say that, though, right?
Yeah, you wouldn't say that. You wouldn't say reality doesn't exist. That's not how you're trying to defend atheism.
Yeah.
Right, so you take the second option, which is saying that reality is not God, so that when you evaluate there are no gods, you don't mean the universe.
Yeah, I don't mean the universe. I'm thinking more.
What property does the universe not have that gods do?
No, I get it. I was thinking more into like monotheism and that type of thing because that's most of the conversations are on here are either about Islam or Christianity.
Do you have a solution for monism? Because I don't know if the universe is one thing or many. And so monotheism could still work if monotheism or if monism. If reality is all one thing and reality is God, then that's monotheism. It's under monism. But you don't have to reach theism under monism. You could just reach physicalism. You could say under physicalism, all things are one thing with measurable differences. But those measurements aren't real. So you've just conceptualized God as being in this microcosm of easy to defeat gods and pretend that you're an atheist, but you don't have an answer that for not easy to defeat gods, like the sun, earth. Earth is a god, did you know? People call it Gaia.
Yeah, I know.
Right, so...
Some beliefs go with that. God is nature.
Right, so what does the atheist do to say that these things are not God? What credibility, what What foundation is the atheist standing on to disagree that any particular thing is not God, i.e., lacks the God-bearing attribute? Because they would have to tell me what's the God-bearing attribute. And if they're telling me what the God-bearing attribute is, they're a theist.
Then
That's theism. So they don't get that luxury to tell me that the sun is not a god, because then they would need a reason, right? What are they saying the sun doesn't have? They don't have that answer. So it's just vapid rejection.
It depends, like, what you say a god is, though. Like, what do you define a god?
The sun.
What is the definition of the sun, just in general? What is the definition of God? Well,
in the definition, I'm using a giant ball of plasma in the sky. The way that the Egyptians would argue that giant ball of plasma in the sky, that's my epistemic understanding of the God, is that it's a giant ball of plasma in the sky. The epistemic understanding someone like who worships Ra understands is that it's the power of Ra defeating the night god, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, epistemically, we disagree. Ontologically, we agree. Both the ancient Egyptian and me agree that their God has ontological status. I got a phone.
Ontological. Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Yeah, so it has ontology. So if it has ontology, you're not disregarding the ontology of it, right? You believe the sun exists.
It has isness.
That's why we're giving epistemic pushback, because of the isness. They think it gives a fuck about me. I think it's just a ball of plasma that can't give a fuck about me. So that's epistemic pushback. But I'm not saying because it doesn't give a shit about me, it doesn't exist. That's what atheists are saying. It doesn't exist. Atheism is about the lack of belief in the existence of God, not what God is, right? Lacking belief in what God is, that's not atheism. That's not even anything, right? That's just ignorance of what God is, right? What atheists are rejecting is existence, not any particular property. They wouldn't be able to look at the sun and be like, I reject its existence because it lacks a property, because there is no property. They don't believe in the property. But because I've backed them into that corner, it's showing the irrational, it's a reductio. It's using a reductio ad absurdum to show that the atheistic, pathway here is invalid. It's not a proper rejection of a thing's ontology. And all they do is they start citing things like fucking unicorns. Unicorns don't have ontology.
What?
We're not referring to ontology. That's semantic content. We're referring to epistemic content, which would be things like plasma and give a shit. When I look at the sun, I lack give a shit, but I see plasma. Like if I observed some give a shit in the sun and somehow I knew that give a shit gave a shit about me, like its give a shitness was about me and it was a giant ball of plasma, then I wouldn't tell the Egyptians they were wrong. I would be like, well, it's a ball of plasma, but I see what you're saying about it giving a shit about me and like fighting off a space demon. I get you, right? I would be able to relate on that level, right? Because I would look over at the space demon of night and be like, that's fucking weird how it like absorbs radiation and shit. Like I would be trying to figure that out, the ontology, right? But you guys are convinced that semantic content equals a prior, a proper epistemic prior. You've been convinced that semantic content fills that void of epistemic reasoning. It doesn't. Semantics is just a manner in which we describe things, the words that we choose to use to represent the experience of whether it's a thing out there in reality or the thoughts that I'm having in my head. I use these symbols to get you to have that same experience, whether it be about the thing out there in reality or the thing inside my head. Because if I can convince you of either of those, they're now both in your head. The thing is out there in reality, you just look at it, now it's inside your head, or the thing is inside my head, and I use this proper symbolic reasoning to get it inside your head using proper references, right? Proper descriptors. If I give you a bad description, well, then you're going to be confused. But if I give you an accurate description, well, then you're going to understand, right? But where do you get what?
I am very confused.
Wow. All right.
Maybe,
what?
maybe a different way.
The language. No, it's just the language you're using. I don't know this many words.
maybe this will help. If I told you like Flurfelbergen exists,
what the fuck is that?
you're exactly. What the fuck is that, right? And then Yeah. And then I turn around and say is, Florfelbergen has the property of fidget whizzlers. You're going to be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Right?
That's
But
how this conversation sounds.
If I told you Florfelbergen is the sun, you're going to ask what question?
Okay, so the whole logic behind this, the reason why I don't understand is because you're using a lot of like specific words that I need to Google because I don't know what you're saying.
Like ontology?
Like, yeah, I had to Google that.
Yeah, so ontology, ontology refers to the way a thing is in nature, as it is independent of our observations. It's just the way a thing is, right?
Okay, and so semantic?
Right, so, well, first, before we go into semantics, I want you to imagine that there is a thing. Just to hold it in your brain that there is a thing, okay? I'm appealing to an amorph. Don't describe it yet. I'm just asking you to imagine a thing in your brain for a second, right?
Yeah.
It's real. It's somewhere in space-time, but you don't know how to describe it just yet. So that's ontology. That there are things and they can be described, but we don't have descriptions of them until we experience them. So we interface with our experience. Our experience allows us to interact with those things that exist independent of us. So we see them, we hear them, we feel them, right? You see what I'm saying there? So ontology is the isness of a thing. Experience is how you access the isness of a thing. And then epistemology is once you have accessed the experience of the thing, epistemology is the way you understand it. So when I asked you to imagine a thing, we haven't described it yet. When we get to the epistemology of this thing that you haven't described yet, that you haven't accessed yet within I haven't opened up that window or door yet, right? It's closed. So there's this thing, but you don't have the ability to describe it, right? Now, you're aware of the word flat, right? And how to use the word flat?
Flat Earth.
Or just the word flat. You know how to use it and what it means, right? And you understand the word incisor, right?
No.
Teeth.
Teeth?
It's a type of teeth. Yeah, it's your front teeth or your incisors. The ones that cut and slice. Yeah, they cut and slice. This is your incisor.
Oh, yeah. I know that.
Now, you understand the word web, right? That it's webbed. Something might be webbed, right?
Spider web.
Yeah, or like a duck's foot is webbed.
Yeah.
Okay, so you already have. I haven't even addressed this thing that I said exists, but don't imagine it yet. I haven't described it, but inside your own brain right now is flat, webbed, large, hind, like behind, fore and hind. Hind is already in your brain. All these words are already hanging out in your brain. And then when you observe, now let's open up this pathway. Let's build a bridge from our ability to describe, because we have an ability to describe. We just discussed it. We have a whole bunch of descriptive words we're ready to use to describe something. But you and I know we have nothing to describe. There's nothing to describe yet. Because I said you have the ontology, but don't imagine it. So the experience of that ontology is closed. Now, we're going to have an experience of the ontology, right? So we're going to open up our ability to perceive this thing, and what you will see is a large rodent of the genus Castor. You won't see that part, the genus Castor, having sharp incisors, webbed hind feet, and a flattened tail, noted for its ability to dam streams and rivers. That's what you will observe. You will amalgamate all those semantic words that you had in your brain that you knew how to use. Flatness. You said earth, but I mean tail. But did I mean tail, or did the beaver mean tail? The beaver means tail, right? We look at the beaver and we just go to the word flat. We find the word flat that's in our brain and we build this semantic representation of the observation. But you can see that now that we've made this observation, all the words that we needed to describe this unknown object X I asked you about the confusing cacophony and plethora of words you potentially could have used to describe unknown object X, overwhelming majority of the plethora of words you have in your brain were isolated and vanished immediately upon observation. As soon as you saw the observation of the beaver, your brain just falls into descriptions because those descriptions are in your brain. They're not in the beaver. You brought those descriptions out into the woods where you encountered that animal. You didn't even need to see a beaver before. You never needed to have a definition of a beaver. You just walk out there, you encounter the beaver, and you bring with those descriptions. So the idea is you already had the descriptions. So if you already have the descriptions, what stops you from the necessity of going out into the woods? What stops you from doing that? Why don't you just stay home and just define a beaver that you've never encountered as being a large rodent of the genus Castor, having sharp incisors, webbed hind feet, and a flattened tail? Why would you do that just from your armchair? We've already acknowledged earlier in the conversation that you don't know how to describe it because you didn't have the experience. So the question, why would you describe it absent the experience, is a valid question. And the reason that we're asking this is because absent the experience, everything you're going to say about it is a non sequitur. It's not actually logically following that a thing has sharp incisors. It doesn't logically follow that a thing has a flat tail or webbed hind feet.
Because you haven't seen it.
Because you haven't seen it.
Is that? Yeah.
It would logically follow if you did see it and your statement flat tail followed the observation. This is why atheism is stupid, because atheism is saying I lack belief in the existence of unknown object X.
Yeah,
What
but the whole
fuck?
lack of the belief is because you haven't seen God, let's say. And if you've seen it, you would agree with it.
Yeah, but
But
when
you don't know what X is at all. You don't know
Right.
any properties. You don't know nothing.
And when you
person
when you
when a
pretend,
person
real quick,
okay.
when you pretend the semantics is a fill-in for the epistemics, that's where you go wrong. The only way you can evaluate the truth value of the statement, there is a God, is in the modality it's presented. You need the ontology. Absent the ontology, the best thing you can do for yourself is to acknowledge the non sequitur nature of their statement. Not that their statement's wrong. You don't know that their statement's wrong. You don't have access to the ontology. So, but when you say they're wrong, you fill in their semantics as a prior for your consideration. They tricked you into accepting semantic content in the place of epistemic content. Because remember, you know what epistemic content is in the scenario of the beaver that I was describing? The epistemic content is your relationship with the beaver itself, the way you perceive the beaver. That is epistemic content. But you notice every bit of the epistemic content could have been described while we knew it was unknown object X. No new word came into our language when we observed the beaver. No new word. We just synthesized a new configuration of those words. That's all we did. So it's not good enough that they have the semantics. We need the epistemics. The epistemics is what we should be evaluating, not the semantics. If you're evaluating the semantics, then you've already assumed the epistemics. And so when they say that, they've assumed God's existence for the sole purpose to say that it doesn't exist, because they're saying it doesn't exist. It is a reference to ontology. The only thing you could do in that form is to ask, what is it? Because you don't even know what it is. So you can't use it in your sentence. You can clarify for it. But when the atheist says it doesn't exist, they're manifesting it just to say it doesn't exist. But when they say that, they're what they're doing is validating the concept. The concept is invalid because it's semantic. It's a category error.
It's a hypothesis, right? It's like something that people say, and you take in all the content they
follow
said.
observations. All hypotheses follow observations.
It's something, not the hypothesis, like what's the word? Like basically you say a scenario that's not real, and you think about the scenario.
No. That's a hypothesis, but that's not a hypothesis. A hypothesis follows an observation. You could say a thought experiment. Do you mean a thought experiment?
Yeah. That's what I mean.
Yeah,
I appreciate that you're actually not like going crazy over the fact that I'm not understanding you. You're actually trying to explain. I really appreciate that, man.
Yeah, thought
We're here
experiment
to
is
educate.
yeah, thought experiment has a
dude,
lot
hell
more freedom than a hypothesis, right? Because a hypothesis is something you're guessing based on observations, whereas a thought experiment is something that you're based on your experience of reasoning. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's the way I see it with like the atheist. It's not about accepting it exists. It's more like seeing the information people tell you about it and like seeing it as a thought experiment.
But you're
And like
but
seeing
you're
it
but you're using that thought experiment, right? You're just using that thought experiment like it's valid in the first place.
Yeah, like it
Like
has
it's
anything
something
to
that
do
you
with ontology.
yeah.
but it is to the other person, and you're seeing like the proof
Who
that they've
gives a
heard
shit about the other
and
person? But
Yeah,
the
that's
atheist
semantics.
is engaging in that other person's view. That's the problem. Why would you give a shit what their fucking thought process is?
Because it's a politics server. You're basically that's the whole
It was
logic
a
behind
general.
it.
It was a general statement. He didn't mean it in that form. Obviously, you
Yeah.
care about the conversation. They're saying, why are you giving it the weight you give epistemic reasoning? Why does semantic content have the same weight as epistemic content?
Mm-hmm.
So imagine a
Like
scale.
you're actually giving it more weight. Like you would give it. You're giving this semantical content more weight than like the person claiming the sun to be a god, because you know the sun exists. You're not saying the sun doesn't exist, right?
No.
So they're giving you something more. So they're giving you something more than the other person, but you're giving that person that just gives you semantical content more weight. Why would you do that?
Because I know one thing is real, and I don't know that the other thing is real. And from what I've been told about the other thing, it doesn't make sense to me
Right,
to
but
be
I'm
real.
giving you a valid epistemic model that allows you to come to conclusions about whether or not they're real. If you accept the standards that I'm employing, if you learn to differentiate, if you learn to differentiate between semantic value and epistemic value and how to weight them, it's not always the case that the scale is tipped towards epistemics. Sometimes the scale is tipped towards semantics, because semantics is important, right? Why we're defining a word in a particular way is important. It's just as important as its usages and contexts, right? How to use the word beaver phonetically, for example, beaver. Why are we saying beaver instead of right? Because it's just harder, right? It's a lot fucking harder to say that shit than beaver, right? This flows off the tongue. So that would be the phonetics, the way a word sounds, right? Then the semantics goes into those particular definitions. There's nothing wrong with semantics, because semantics is used syntactically to clarify and describe, right? To enrich our language is a process of semantics. So it's a valid part of the model of linguistics is semantics. What I'm saying is if I'm asking you a question of literature, for example, if I'm asking you about like Harry Potter, and we have a scale of content, right? We're weighing the type of content we're evaluating. And I ask you a question about Harry Potter, and you reach over to, like, you know, the little grams that you put on scales. If you reach over and you pick up a gram of ontology and put it on that scale, it's not going to move the scale, because I asked you a question about the semantics here, the internal validity structure of Harry Potter. So you should be picking up the semantic weights. When you put the semantic weights on a scale of about a semantic question, the scale will go down. It'll weight down on the semantics, right? Because it's phase shifted on you see what I'm saying? Like, if you try to put the semantic weight on the ontological side of the scale, it just drops through the plate and you can't weigh shit, because it doesn't belong in that category. You can only drop it on the side of the scale that's referencing semantics, right? So when you're asking about Harry Potter and you're trying to tip this scale of understanding, if I have one morsel of ontology and one morsel of semantics, in this scenario, the semantics scale is going to tip, because I'm asking a semantics question. But if I'm asking you a question about the nature of reality and you try to pick up a semantic weight and put it on this, it's not going to weight. There's no weight to semantic reasoning. If I'm asking you about like what color this rock is, semantics all you want is going to mean nothing. You need to pick up a gram of the ontology and drop it on the scale, because that's the question I'm trying to weight. I'm trying to get to the bottom of a certain kind or class of question. It's a question about ontology. So if I state things about ontology, the only kinds of scales I can use is ones that weight ontology, not ones that conflate ontology and epistemology. That scale's never going to work. Now, you can have a scale that measures only epistemology, and you can have a scale that weighs only ontology, and you can evaluate these two in different lights. And the thing is, you first establish ontology. Ontology is going to build your ability to even weight the epistemology, right? Because the epistemology are the statements we're making about the ontology. And so I can make good or bad statements about, in my epistemology, about that ontology. So I can be right or wrong about my epistemology, but the ontology can't be wrong or right. That's not a metric of ontology. The rightness or trueness factor of anything is coming from a relationship between the statements we're making and the way those statements pertain to that state of affairs, the ontology. If I say it's blue and it's blue, I'm right. If I say it's blue and it's red, I'm wrong. It's not if I say it's red, it becomes red. That's a reversed operation. I'm saying it's red because I've observed it already to be red, and I drew red from my semantic content. See what I'm saying?
I think so.
So think about the map and territory. So basically, there's a mountain, right, which has ontology. There's a thing in the world, right? The map is only a description about the mountain.
Yeah.
Okay, and think about epistemology is the map about the ontology. But in order to get the epistemology of the ontology, you have to see the ontology first. So how we describe the mountain has no bearing on how the mountain is. Correct?
Yeah, it's still a mountain.
Yeah,
It
it's
doesn't
still going to
matter
be a
how
mountain.
you
So
describe it,
if I label the mountain as red, that all of a sudden the mountain's not going to go poof red, right? That would just be an inaccurate map about the mountain.
Yeah, I understand. The whole logic with, I mean, I think I understand. I'm trying to understand epistemology, systemic, holy shit.
And the atheists, what the atheists are doing is they're saying, if you guys go out to the territory, you won't find a God. And when we ask the atheists, why are you saying that? They say, look at all these bad maps. And I say, well, those are great maps, or bad maps. It's cute. I like that when it's got the dick picture on it, right? Like, I'll go thumb through the maps, right? But at the end of the day, the atheist is concluding that the state of affairs, the territory, is in such a way when they've only considered the map. Because when I look at the territory and I say, okay, atheist, what is a God? They're like, oh, I don't know. And so I'm like, wait, hold on. Then how do you know that tree that we both see is not a God? Well, I don't. That's what the atheist is saying. I don't know that tree is not a God. I just don't believe it's a God. Well, your belief about what a thing is isn't the question. The question is, do you believe the thing is there? And the atheists are saying, no. That's what they're saying. No, the thing's not there because it's not a tree. It's like, what are you talking about? It doesn't make any fucking sense. We know it's there. It's part of the territory. But because the atheists are convinced, because they only looked at the map the maps, and they concluded there's no God, they're just saying, I don't see anything that's in the maps in the territory. But then I'm like, well, what about this map? This map's here. Look at that tree. Look at this tree. And I show them the map of that tree right there that we're both looking at. I'm like, dude, this is a fucking good ass drawing right here. What do you mean there's no gods out there? And I'm like, here's a God perfectly drawn. It's a tree, but it's perfectly represented out there in the world. And you've denied the ontology. And I ask you, why is this not a valid God? And you don't have a good reason why this picture of this tree, this map of God, is not a God. You just, for whatever reason, you're butthurt and you don't want to answer and give me a good reason. You just say it's not and start talking about fucking unicorns, which is merely semantic. right?
Who the
When
who
we're
the
looking-
fuck talked about unicorns on here? You mentioned it like 3 times.
When we're talking about the
Yeah.
territory, we're talking about the epistemic content, right? The epistemic bridge is our vision of the territory, and our epistemic content is out there as the form of the ontology, right? That's the only way we can do this.
Yeah, the reason why people it's atheism is the thing is the whole logic is behind the definition of a god, right? Like I've learned about mono gods, let's say, and for me that doesn't make sense, and I don't agree with that. But the thing is, I've also started learning about polytheism, and that's also very, very interesting. And I cannot say for certain there is no god out there, but I can be extreme on here and say I'm
Well, but
an
you
atheist.
can. That's what we're trying to tell you is that you can, because this is what you do. You walk up to the cartographer and his table of maps, and you thumb through the maps, right? And you pick up a map. You pick up at random, just pick up a map, and you'll see on that map it'll be some incoherent bullshit, right? You take your incoherent bullshit map and you turn to the ontology, you turn to the territory, and you look for one. You look for one of those things. If you don't find one of those things, right, that's drawn here in that territory, it don't exist. It's not out there in the territory, right? You look to the territory, it's not in the territory, then the map, the thing in the map doesn't exist. If it existed, you'd see it out there in the territory. So you take that map, right? Hold on, almost done. Take that map, and that is a map of a god that does not exist, and you stick it in the pile of maps of gods that don't exist. But if you keep, what I'm saying, if you keep thumbing through it, you'll pick up a map and you'll find one of those out there in the territory. So all I'm suggesting is when you set the map down, don't set it into the pile of ones that don't exist. Set it down into the pile of ones that do exist. That's the proper step. That's what you do. We're dealing with ontology. We're dealing with claims to God's existence. So if the thing exists, then it exists. There's no reason to contend with that. Just stick it in the pile of gods that exist, because then you go through the pile of gods that exist and you can ask questions about them. You're not done. You can ask questions about the gods that exist and ask, why are people saying this? Denying that there is a distinguishable pile of gods that exist is irrational, because you just want to put all those gods into one pile. That's what you're trying to do, but you can't, because we're determining whether or not they exist. If we were determining whether or not they made me butthurt, they would all be in one pile. But we're not determining if they're all making me butthurt, right? Only, you know, all of them make me butthurt, but we're considering existence. So there's two piles, ones that exist, ones that don't. Atheists are weighing in on whether gods exist. Unfortunately for them, some gods are out there in the territory.
Might be out there.
No, they are definitively out in the territory. I see them. I can observe them.
Oh yeah, like the sun and things like that. Yeah.
Correct. Those are in the territory.
Yeah, but that's just like knowledge, really, the definition, right? Like, that's a good like type of logic, because some Egyptians say that the sun was God.
But the thing is you've grabbed this one map, right?
Yeah, and you're going into that specifically
and see the claim, and then you've accepted this one map as the standard of what a god actually is, when we don't actually know what the standard is. But you've automatically given this one more weight than any other one for who knows what reason. It's fucking incoherent. And we're like, why would you fucking do that? You know, and why would you not separate them when you actually have actual, hey, this is actually has a referent in reality. This has the territory. But what makes it a god? You know, you can ask more questions, but you're saying is yes, I put this one in a not existing pile, but I'm going to take that what they're claiming as what a god actually is. Why? It's incoherent. It's stupid. Why would you do that?
The lack of knowledge, then. Because you can say one map is not real, but if you don't know how many maps there are a possibility to look through, you just see the one that's not real.
So you have to have a reliable way to weed them out. But the only thing you've done is you've accepted this one random fucking map, and you've accepted that their claim has some merit. even though it's incoherent, which makes it meritless, right? You give it merit. For what reason? Because of a lot of people said it has this stupid map. Why would you do that? Who gives a shit? It's a fucking dumbass map.
This is a very famous map, you know? Like everybody's talking
Who
about the
gives a
map.
flying fuck? Yeah, who gives a flying fuck? It has no merit at all.
Oh my God.
None. Zilch. Not one iota of merit.
Yeah, I understand.
So that's what the position we take is the agnostic position.
Yeah, I kind of got that.
No, not agnostic, not AG, IG.
What's the difference?
Well, AG has to deal with you don't know if a God exists, right? But in order to say if you don't know if one exists, you have to know what one is in the first place, right? Where agnostic position is, what the fuck are you actually talking about here? Sort of like when I asked you, like, what is Flurfelbergen, right? You're like, what the fuck is that? That's a state of mind. When somebody says God, that's the state of mind you have. What the fuck are you actually talking about here?
Yeah. So you cannot say it exists or it doesn't exist because you don't know what the fuck it is.
You don't know anything fucking about it. You're like, what the fuck are you actually talking about here? And you can analyze what the fuck they're actually talking about, right? But you're not making a claim what a God is or isn't. So when somebody says, do you believe, like when you ask somebody, do you believe in a God thing? And they're like, yeah, okay, what are you referring to? You know, and then somebody says the sun, I'd be like, great, that's a God I believe in. I don't know what makes it a God. What properties is required to be a God? You can ask those questions, but you believe in that referent. At least they're talking about something you know.
You can kind of define it, I guess.
No, we don't define it, right? Because
but
like our definition, when we build definitions, especially about like ontology of something, right? We don't get to make stuff up. We actually have to observe it, then define it based on our observation. We describe based on our observation. Why would you accept Why would you accept any definition when they're claiming ontology of something? Why would you accept any definition that they don't have a way to determine that ontology, or it doesn't make any sense for that ontology?
Because you do have no like proof to prove a God, though, and that's I don't know.
But what is a God? What makes a God, and how do you know it?
Well, there's different definitions of a God depending on different types of religions.
Yes, but the thing is who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? We care about if the definition matches onto the territory. We care about the map matching onto the territory.
Yeah, but you can never see the actual territory. You can never actually see the mountain.
Okay, then why would you accept any definition that doesn't match that? You wouldn't, right?
Yeah, but if you want, like, I guess, semantic, right? When you want a description of it, that you can't.
So when the atheist says, well, the sun isn't a God, that's what they're doing. They're accepting this incoherent fucking map as something valid in the first place.
Yeah, but if you can't prove it by seeing it, the only thing else you can like learn about it is through descriptions. It's all like.
Well, what are they describing? How can you match on their descriptions?
What do you mean by learn?
You cannot.
Wait, what do you mean by learn?
Then what the fuck are they talking about?
It's just about the descriptions, really.
Wait, you said learn.
Like, you can't
what did you mean?
But like agnostic said, it's just semantical content. Who gives a shit?
But there's no other way to you actually knowing anything like through the religions except semantical content.
When you said learn, what did you mean?
What did I say exactly? Learn about God?
We can learn from the description. We can learn about something from descriptions someone gives you?
I just mean, like, for example, you cannot actually see the mountain, but all you can take into context is the descriptions of the mountain.
Yeah, but how does that make it more real?
Does not make it more real. It's just more, like there's no other. I don't know why we care. It's just more about the logic of there's no other.
No, like if you don't know, then you shouldn't be using this as something to present to us or to justify something real.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, they're talking about God. There's no other way to talk.
You're clutching pearls. Throw it away.
I
It's
don't
not useful.
understand what you're saying. What do you mean? Like descriptions
Well,
are not
you're
useful
holding
because you
on
can't
to
actually say it.
something like it's your most precious safety blanket right now. Learned descriptions from people.
Yeah, because what other way
Why?
can you? Because there's no other possibility to learn about this type of knowledge. I guess.
What makes it knowledge?
I don't know.
What's justified about it?
It's not. It's more about taking whatever you have information. You know, like you can't actually see the mountain.
Well,
but
what makes it good information?
it's not technically good. It's just information. Like there's no other way to know about it.
Why are you stuffing your head with useless information?
It's fun. It's interesting.
Right, but when we're asking about reality and not fiction, you're being counterproductive, right?
But yeah, there's no way to actually prove reality, though.
Yeah, but you're insulting.
Other than what to how?
Well, because you're ignoring what we're asking for, which is reality.
Yeah, but I'm saying there's no way of proving reality.
Right, and
Like
so
that type of
when you say I don't have that, and you say, hey, let's do fiction, and we say no, why do you continue?
Okay. I don't know. I was just talking, dude. I don't.
Why
I wasn't thinking of it in a
why is fiction
country.
better than saying I don't know?
That's interesting. I don't know.
Because entertaining fiction is how we run from reality and how we allow. Basically, what this does is that this allows a pattern of behavior that people think is normal to do, and people vote. And so if you give them the permission to think in a way where they run from reality and they're voting like that, your life will be harder. Your life will be much harder. Life will be more difficult.
Yeah.
That's why I'm serious about this. That's why I receive it as insult.
Okay, I didn't mean to insult you, Ben. But it is interesting what you said. Like, why is it better to just run with fiction rather than say I don't know? That is interesting.
Well,
It is fair.
yeah. The title of the chat room
Did
is
I-
not false
okay.
advertising.
It mean it's not false advertising.
It means
it's
we're
bait.
asking about reality. That's all we care for in this case.
Yeah, think about it like
But you don't know.
what is it called? Like when nerds like cut your lines and they like go in there and like hijack your shit by like picking up the waves going by. We're just like rerouting your brain network for a minute, and filtering it through the agnostic framework so that you can see how it's a better tool for arguing.
No,
not just theism. This can be used for any philosophy because it's grounded in
that's why it's
epistemics,
interesting.
proper reasoning, proper linguistic representation. I don't know if
A lot of
God things
linguistics.
exist or not in reality, but ground monkeys are not good sources of information for that. So I'm going to wait until there's better info and then reach a better conclusion. But my conclusion right now just has to be about the behavior of humans. That's the only ontology I can reference is what are my fellow monkeys doing? They're going around gaslighting their children and believing in stupid shit. That's what they're doing. These fucking things in isolation smear shit on the wall. Okay? Still, this is what humans do.
Yeah.
So I don't know why anybody thinks that at the end of philosophy of this God thing that we have moved our head anywhere, let alone out of our own asses, right? Like it seems to be firmly planted still in there, right? Like you didn't figure out shit. These morons made some shit up and you figured that out. Okay. What do you know? What else? What about reality? Right? What about the rest of the shit?
You don't know. That's the whole thing. You don't know.
We don't know. I mean, you know some stuff. You can know,
Yeah.
again, valid epistemic reasoning or valid epistemics or good
Yeah, but
epistemics.
specifically in this conversation, you do not have that. But it's
Not
fair.
what-
Like, why would you run with like the theories when you don't actually know the real thing because you don't have actual proof behind it?
Well, no, that's the thing is in the Igtheist model, you concede, right? So we got you to concede immediately in the conversation. That's the ultimate concession that happened there. The rest of this conversation is contextualizing that concession. Why was it so easy for the Igtheist question to defeat your atheism? Because it was the proper question. It's the question that should be asked. It's the conversation killer. But it's not a conversation killer. You see it. That's the reason I get it up front and out the fucking way, to show that it's not a conversation killer. It's a conversation starter. Once you break your brain of that loop and realize it ain't a conversation ender, it ends that conversation for sure, because you see with a simple question, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And then the rest of the conversation is just me showing you this is why you didn't know what you're talking. This is epistemics. So that's where the conversation begins. But the atheists have characterized it as a conversation killer because it kills their philosophy. They have to shut up now. You see, that's why they're calling it a conversation killer. Because I turned a light on and they're like, oh shit, we sound stupid. Or we look dumb, right? They're all standing around looking like fucking morons, right? You ever seen that video that just came out of that guy who took his headphones off and heard the moaning of the crowd that was listening to like a concert in their headphones? You hear all the people, you know, that's what you hear when you take the headphones off. Well, that's what I hear because I took the fucking headphones off. I just see a bunch of people standing around like morons saying dumb shit. That's what's going on with theism and atheism. That is, I understand it seems funny, right? Because like the way I characterize shit, but it's still true, right? The simple question ends the debate, shuts the conversation down. That should be a red flag for you people, right? Big red flag. And instead of saying the conversation is over, start listening to what I'm fucking saying, because once all you nerds frame shift, you'll start debating in a different way, and I'll start listening to that shit. I'll start listening to what you guys are saying there, and then I'll have like new information. But it's literally just for the last like, I don't know how long in my experience, it's just been bickering back and forth and me trying to get people to say, understand that they're speaking adult baby babble. That's what this religious philosophy bullshit is. It's adult baby babble. None of you know what the fuck you're talking about. You're just pretending. You're fucking pretending there's tea in the cup. That's what you're doing. You want tea, and you want to make fun of that guy for pretending there's tea, so you pretend that there's tea so you can sit down at the table of tea drinkers and then make fun of all the guys that there's no tea in their shit, and then knock everybody's tea cups off the table. And then be like, haha, nobody got wet, there's no tea. Bruh. So yeah, you just got to break your brain of these fucking logical loops that you've been set up to accept. Start getting new ones, better ones. Start thinking more clearly and coherently. The knuckle dragger like me could figure this shit out. That's just because I got like more hours, I guess. If there's any like, I think that's probably why, right? Because I mean, you could get people like Coconut Bee. I remember watching a stream, and somebody said something about Coconut Bee, and he was just like, because it's me, I'm Coconut Bee, I'm just a fucking badass. And it's just like, yeah, that's true. Coconut Bee didn't have to practice to be Coconut Bee. He's just a fucking badass. He's got the gift in his wrist. He's just that good, right? You don't want to fucking run into him, man. Plus, I mean, he's just fun, right? He's a really good gamer. So, you know, when he shits on nerds, it's because he's that good. It's not narcissism. It's just that's why he's on the top of like the Rust gamers and shit. He's near the top. He's a good gamer. You know, there's people like him that when they enter the game, they're just badasses. But then there's people like me that had to like farm for a long time, get my shit pushed in, stolen all the time. I learned that, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't bring my gear out. Maybe I should just bring specific gear out, right? And then finding the right combination of gear, then you start realizing, oh shit, my box is filling up, right? Whereas it was emptying before, it's starting to fill up now. That's called learning, right? And after 5,000 hours, I still get my shit pushed in, right? But, I learned. I become a base bitch, farmer, base builder, still have fun, right? And they come to the base. I can defend the base. That's fun. You learn how to fucking do it. You just go through it. Some people are going to be better than you. Some people are going to be like, they just higher aptitude. Get the fuck over it, narcissist. Right? Like, what do you think? You're at the top of everything you do? You're just triggered that you fucking meet most people are better than you? Like, most people in a task you should hope are better than you. When you go to the mechanic, you want to be better than you. When you go to the masseuse, you want to be better than you. You literally pay people on a daily basis to be better than you, then get triggered when they whisper in your ear, I'm better than you. Like, what's wrong with your brain? All you gotta do is think. Just think. Like this guy. This dude's, what is your name? K.A.? Killa? Is that what that says? Killa?
Yeah, it is Killa, yes.
Can you prove the existence of a God thing?
Oh, I'm not sure about that. My English, it's not that good and I don't have vocabulary.
So you're saying you can't prove it?
No, I'm saying that, like, I'm not capable of that.
Right. So I'm going to take your inability to start proving it as an exemplar that you can't prove it. I win. Get wrecked, nerd. Now, since we've isolated that it's a linguistic problem, are you suggesting that if I was to pull up a statement that you made into Google Translate, it would be impossible for you to translate some semblance of an argument into English?
Yeah, I think it's too much, you know, too much, like, you know, for the, how to say, argument on the, or debate on the, you know, Discord.
Well, I'll tell you what, are you, like, obscenely wealthy?
Oh, no, of course not.
Check this shit out, dude. You could make a metric fuck ton of money if you just work with a person from your language that speaks my language and translate whatever the fuck you would have to say into English, where you would prove the existence of a God thing, because that's the barrier you're saying exists, is that your language is preventing. So if you get a translator, bro, you could rake in trillions of dollars. You could take over this whole goddamn planet, bro. all you need is an interpreter, dude. That's it. What are you doing, dude? Like, this is more money than gold, oil,
I don't think the money
antimatter.
I don't think that, like, money, it's like, you know, the, how to say, the reason, you know, for anything.
Yeah, but think about it. The only thing that's stopping you from being able to prove that God actually exists in reality is the fact that you don't speak my language. That's the only barrier.
No, that's not.
You would
only
literally
barrier,
get sponsored and flown to Seattle to the Discovery Institute.
Bro, you would have,
they'll just pay you to exist.
Everything. They would be fucking dumping money. You would be able to just stand there and utter things. You would have like 13,000 interpreters working on every word coming out of your mouth, bro. I'd be there too. I would be. If what you're saying is fucking true, I'd be one of the nerds helping, right? Helping analyze. It's like, holy shit, this dude's fucking dumping. Holy fuck, dude. And analysis overload. Enhance. Right? Like, we would all be doing that, because if what you're saying is true, right?
Okay.
That you could prove the existence of a God thing, it's just, shit. Your starting conditions as language is your barrier. Like, do you have other people using your language, or did you invent your language?
No, it's just like 3 of us who know, like, my language. So yeah.
Right. So a bunch of people already speak your language. You could just go to them. Some people speak English, and you could just do it in English.
No, it's just 3 people who speak my language. You know, it's me and other 2 people.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. So where on the spectrum are you?
Which spectrum?
Retard spectrum.
If you I don't know, man.
Like extremely retarded, like just half retarded, or you like?
Probably extreme.
Extremely retarded, yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna lean in that direction myself.
Yeah. Okay, but like, can you prove me that God not exist?
Yeah, because you can't translate it into English.
So that's like proof that God don't exist.
Yeah, because what you're talking about is a linguistic representation. That's your God, language, or in your case, the inability to language is your God. That's what you presented.
Do you smoke the weed, maybe?
That's what you put on the table, bro.
Do you smoke the weed, maybe?
Do I smoke the weed?
Yeah.
What does smoking weed have? You talking about cannabis?
Cannabis, yeah. Marijuana.
Have you ever smoked cannabis before?
That's not the question I ask you.
Like, well, I mean, but it is. Have you ever done that drug?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Well, then what does it matter? Like, you don't know what the drug does. You have no clue what cannabis does.
Yeah, it's matter.
You don't know what cannabis does, though. It'd be like, have you ever taken Tylenol, dude? Have you? Have you ever taken Tylenol? What about aspirin? You ever taken aspirin?
No, I didn't.
You taken any kind of Russian drug at all?
No,
I'm not Russian. Why would I take Russian drugs? Do you take?
I don't know. You sound Russian to me, dude. You sound exactly like a Russian to me, dude.
Okay, do you taking the Jewish drugs?
That sounded. I don't speak Russian, bro, and you like laid
Bro,
that.
I don't speak Russian either. I don't speak Russian either.
You
so,
sound.
like, I don't
I'm not
understand.
saying this is Russian. I'm saying you sound Russian.
Yeah, and you sound Jewish.
I sound Jewish.
Yes.
This sounds Jewish to you. This dialect
Exactly.
right here sounds Jewish.
Yeah, that accent. Yeah, it sounds like Middle Eastern. You know. Like specific area around the Tel Aviv. You know.
Okay. Well, you're wrong.
Okay.
I think the world would say this is Southeast United States.
So like Alabama type.
Yeah. Well, I grew up in Lower Alabama, Florida. Florida is considered Lower Alabama.
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah, that's why I sound like a redneck. Yeah, sound like a hick. That's how I was inculcated to sound. But then sometimes I lay that shit on real quick, get all fucking southern. But I don't need to.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, you sound Russian to me, dude. If you take offense to that, maybe you just talk that out with Russians. I don't know. I'm triggered.
It's not triggering. I understand. So okay, but like if I understand, like whole thing is like like you just waiting people to join and like you ask them, can they prove the God? Like
No,
like
I'm trying to show them a level of love their parents denied them at their inception.
How are you doing that? By asking
By
them
showing them that
question?
their parents gaslit them, and that's the only reason they think they know anything about a God thing.
What if somebody like grew up without the parents and they believe in the God?
You mean like Romulus and Remus?
Can be, yeah. Wait, the guys who like make their
they're
own?
dead, right? Because humans can't survive on fucking wolf milk. Romulus and Remus died in the woods somewhere. They died of malnutrition probably a week after they were dropped off into the woods, and they became two dead babies out in the wood, probably eaten by the wolf. If there was a wolf there, I don't believe there was a wolf there. I don't even believe there were babies, but if there were babies, Romulus and Remus, out in the middle of the fucking woods and a wolf found them, that wolf fucking ate them. It didn't sit there and fucking nurse two monkey babies. It ate those fucking monkey babies. So that's my understanding of Rome. But like Romans believed that, they fucking sucked on a wolf for a couple years and then fucking conquered the world.
Yeah, I'm sorry, like maybe it's like language barrier, but like I don't understand like what that have to do with like like somebody
Do you know the story?
Yes,
Romulus,
I know.
Remus?
Yes, I know. Do
you think it's a bullshit story?
Probably, yeah.
Well, I think your story's bullshit for the same reason.
I didn't say any story.
You said you didn't that you're not a member. You were implying that you're not a member of some society or culture. That you're not deeply entrenched as a member of a familial unit. Do you have a family?
Can you repeat?
Do you have a family?
No, I don't know.
Yeah, so your name is either Romulus or Remus.
No.
Okay, so do you have a family? We'll try it again. Do you have a family?
No, I don't have
So
a
your
family.
name is Romulus and Remus.
No.
So do you have a family?
I really don't understand. Like is that like really that?
Do you
big,
have a
like,
family?
language barrier? No, I don't have a family.
So then your name is Romulus and Remus.
No.
Do you have a family?
No.
So then
The
your
answer is
name is
always no.
Romulus and Remus. This is your logic loop, bro. You got to get out of it, man. Get out of the logic loop. Answer differently somewhere so we can get out of this logic loop.
So like you want me to lie? So
No, I want you to
like,
just tell the truth. When I ask, do you have a family? Just tell the truth
No.
there.
No, I don't have a family.
Well, then you're Romulus and Remus.
I'm not a Romulus and Remus.
Then you have a family.
Are you a social species?
Social species.
Are you a member of a social species?
I don't know.
Did you grow up in a
English is-
society?
Yes, I did. Yes.
Wow.
And there were people in the society?
Probably.
And you had relationships with them?
No.
You had no relationships with anybody?
Yes.
In your society. You
I
didn't
don't
buy.
still
Did you buy
understand-
anything from
I didn't-
somebody? Did you spend money?
Yes,
I didn't
did,
say
but that's not
romantic. I
relationship.
said like any kind of relationship. Business
but-
relationship.
Okay,
like-
okay, yes.
When
yes,
you
yes,
were
okay,
1
okay,
years
yes,
old,
yes.
How
Yes.
did you make it to 2 from 1 years old? Was there somebody taking care of you?
Through the tube, like a machine takes, like care of me, like in the hospital.
Okay, and then from 2 to 3,
Probably the same. I don't remember.
and then from 3 to 4,
Probably the same.
and then 4 to 5.
Me alone.
Okay, 5 to 6,
Me alone.
Okay, alone where?
On the street.
Okay, were there people on that street?
Depend of the time of the day.
When they let you out, when they pushed you out the hospital, was there anybody around you?
I don't remember.
Okay, well, I'm sorry whatever happened to you. You're too retarded for me to have a conversation with. If you ever see this room again, please don't come back, because people like you are disgusting. All right, Torpor, you're up. Let's go. Prove it. Yeah, that's what I thought, bitch.
Man, that guy should write a book.
Yeah, dude, that's fucking, that's crazy. That I would presume at birth, he was hooked to some tube machine, and he spent the first, 7 years of his life hooked to a tube machine, where he then found himself on the street all by himself. Literally 100% of his entire life, all by himself. Never encountered a single other human being to teach him anything, and he spoke pretty decent English. That is fascinating, dude. That is a story to be told, for sure. Make money with that.
Yeah, really well educated for on the street, grew up in a cardboard box.
Like, what did he do? Did he like throw his money at like a business and just hope they left like a bag of chips there? So like they figured it out. There was like eventually they just understood that the 73 cents meant that bag of chips, and then that's how it was. He waited for them to go back into the store, and there was no one around. And he ran out there, or maybe he threw like a fishing line or something and reeled it in. Bruh, I just don't buy it, because like bums get like victimized. Well, actually, it's not really a bum. Hobos get victimized, right? And this dude dodged a bullet his entire life. Not a single interaction with another human being, and he learned whatever language his native tongue was, and English. That's fascinating. I can't do that. I've been surrounded by monkeys my entire life, like super close, and I only speak one language to some degree. I could barely speak any other language, just a little tiny bit, and it's not even speaking it, because I'm just like a parrot saying stuff.
Dude, I'm not sure I've met a homeless person who hasn't been like jumped more like less than 5 times.
Yeah, it's horrible. You get the shit kicked out of him and robbed. It's hard. It's expensive to be a bum.
He just got his feelings hurt. That's what happened. So he just couldn't be honest.
Yeah.
Like, I think we all have that one friend that always has some fantastical story that like they want you to agree with, and like, if you don't agree with them, you'd just be calling them a liar, but like you don't know if they're telling the truth or not, but most likely they're not.
Fuck. I feel like there's this stupid ass phrase from last night to pull out from now that fits really well, but I forgot what it was.
That happens a lot. That's why I take notes.
I did too, actually.
Man, I was working on this big piece of fence, and the whole goddamn thing fell down. I had to cut it all apart and rebuild it.
Aw. Somebody left me a comment of appreciation on YouTube. He says, lol, really funny listening to the mod cat crash out the entire stream. Room seems pretty embarrassing. He's listening to a 10-hour unedited stream, so I mean, I don't know what this guy's doing. This is what I'm saying, though. Like, Piddle's onto something. Like, some people just want content they can play in the background. It's just some guy ranting about shit. Maybe I can, but I want to, impregnate ideas, not just be a. I don't need that.
Listen, man, I'm one of those people that listen to people talk, like podcasts, radio shows, things like that. And if the content is interesting and valid, and like I can look up the shit that I'm hearing, and then it lines up, that right there sparks a thought that just I enjoy that kind of content. Like, I want to learn shit. I know 2 people that I've been dealing with on my Minecraft Civ servers for a long time. I gave them a link to your page, and they were like, "Thanks, man. This guy hits all the arguments I've been looking for to battle these retards on his group of miscreants."
Yeah, that's what a lot of people don't really get, is even though it shits on atheism, you could be a dick and utilize the philosophy to promote atheism. But problem is, I mean, atheists can just start counter trolling, right? And just using the philosophy to fuck with atheists like I did, right? Like like exactly like I do. It's just harder for them because you know, they believe in God and they got to take themselves seriously, so it's a lot harder for like in general. But a lot of them will offer definitions of gods they themselves don't believe in just to get through a conversation or an argument. Especially Christians do that a lot.
Yeah, they'll lie their fucking asses off.
Yeah, they'll tell you like God loves you and he does all these nice things and shit.
I think it was my first day tea breaking properly. It's gonna be 2 weeks.
You haven't had tea for 2 weeks?
No, I'm doing a tea break. But
wow.
Was this the right timing considering
fucking helter swelter out there, man.
You're above 110? Is the humidity still up?
Shit, I had to go get my glasses. Hold on, let me check. It's supposed to get 106 today. Humids. There are this doesn't have it. What the fuck? Why did some people do this shit?
Dude, just Google it, man. Just weather your city.
That's what I did.
What?
Yeah, I just hit the
It's
weather
supposed
button.
to be a tab for precipitation.
Yep. Dang. They don't have them in them little I can just go to weather.
They're like, you're in a desert. We don't care no more.
I'm telling you, I think that's what it is. It's just racism against desert people, dude. 28%. That's actually pretty high for us. Well, it's not.
Yeah, that is
It's
kind of
pretty
high.
high. It's high, but not pretty high.
It'd be nice if it was half of that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, at 100 degrees, because it's 100 degrees right now, but it's gonna get hotter. This whole week is fucked though, man. Oh shit, it's supposed to be raining tomorrow too.
Hello?
All right, nerd, prove it.
You want me to prove that God is real?
Yeah, do it. You won't.
Yeah,
Okay,
you won't.
So close your eyes.
I'm driving. Do I have to do that?
No. Okay, maybe you should wait till you're home. It'll be safer when you're at home.
Are you
So I'm gonna
asking
get
me to
you
look inside the annals of my own brain?
No, I'm gonna get you to pray. We're gonna kneel down, close our eyes, pray to God, talk to God for a second.
Okay.
And if
Would you like
still
me to
feel
lead the
like,
prayer? Would you like me to lead the prayer?
You know what? To be open-minded, we can try the
I'll
way
lead the
that
prayer.
you.
Who would you like me to pray to? I got a prayer lined up already. I've already figured out what I'm praying for.
Jesus Christ.
So you want me to pray to Jesus Christ?
Yes, our Lord
Okay,
and
dear
Savior.
Jesus, what is it? Thou art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. So shit's all fucked up down here on earth. I know you're aware of it. Little girls are being raped right now while I pray to you, and you're aware of that too. What would be dope as fuck though is if you could like call the cops on all the pedophiles right now and get them busted. That'd be dope. Amen. Did it work? Let me check the news real quick. Hold on.
I will say, regardless if
I'm not
we are
seeing
on
anything on
heaven,
top stories. Let's see. Funeral services begin for late Senator Lindsey Graham.
Sir,
Donald
can I
Trump
explain?
and Benjamin Netanyahu
Sir.
meet at the White House. Yeah, there ain't shit
Sir.
about all the pedophiles getting the cops called on them.
Can I explain something to you really quickly?
Well, I mean, can we stick on
So-
topic real quick? Did my prayer work or did it not work?
It didn't work yet, but it will work.
Oh, it didn't work yet. Well, what about the
Yes,
little
there's
girls
a
who are being
time-
raped right now? When are they going to get help?
Trust me, they are being thought about.
Well, it seems like your God's a dick. Can he help? Could your God answer my prayer?
He will, yes.
No, could he? The question is, could he?
He will.
No, the question is, could he?
I don't think he's going to put a non-believer.
I didn't ask if he was going to. I didn't
Hold
ask if
on,
he was
I
going to.
don't
I
think-
asked about his capacity. Is God a little bitch, or can he do what I said?
Okay, can we have a genuine conversation? Can you calm down?
I
with
don't
the
think we
verbiage?
can. Not when you come at me with magic like that, man. When you ask me to shut down
It's
my
not
cognitive
magic.
processes and become retarded.
You're
so that I
asserting
can believe
properties
you.
from your imagination.
Yeah, it's absolutely
Hey, I asked
disgusting that you
you-
would do that. Do you understand human suffering is real? And that if your God
Yes, I
answered
understand
any of
that.
my fucking prayers, I'd tell him to go fuck himself. Take that prayer and help a little girl who's being raped. You understand that? That any prayer that filthy pig fuck piece of shit would answer for me, I would say give it to a little girl who's being dicked down by their uncle or something like that. Don't waste it on me. I don't need your fucking help. You already fucked up. It's been 45 years.
Okay.
I'm good, right? I'm good. I don't need your God's fucking help. But little
You're
girls who are being
45 years
raped need help.
old.
Little girls who
Why
are
do you
being
keep-
little
why do you
girls,
have
little
an
girls,
obsession with
little
it?
girls, little
Why do you
girls,
keep saying
little girls,
little
little
girls?
girls,
Why do you have an obsession?
little girls who are being raped need their help. I don't need their help. I don't need your God monster's help. I don't need prayers answered. I don't need none of that shit. So don't offend me by offering your God's help to me. That offends me. I don't need its help. Help it to people who need the fucking help.
We can try to pray.
Did you
and
hear
you
what I
went on
said?
this whole spiel.
Hey, ma'am, I muted you so that the stream can hear me, right? So that I didn't have to scream over some fucking person spurging out that I wasn't done yet. Yeah, here's a prayer power. What do you do with your prayer power? Well, I'm going to spend it on a little girl getting fucking victimized. That doesn't work like that. Well, then I don't want it. It's dog shit. All right, lawyer, let's go. Prove it.
Hey, man, you know me. I was joined here to chill.
You could do that on my stream. I'm live streaming right now.
What do I gotta prove, bro?
Nothing. You can go watch this on my live stream. You don't need to do shit.
Oh,
Remember,
okay,
you knew
so I
us.
can chill here. So you guys want to play? You guys want to play For Honor with me?
No, I don't want to entertain you, dude. You can do that on my YouTube. Ooh. My voice is failing. I need to like scream louder to like break it out of its condition. Like gurgle some milk and lemon juice. I just want to get to the influential status where I can recommend that you gurgle milk and lemon juice. And then someone's like, well, this guy knows what he sounds like he knows what he's talking about. And then they go try that shit. And then it's just like fucking horrible. And then they're like, oh, and they spit it out, you know? And they're like, oh, this fucking guy. And then they learn to never listen to that shit ever again in their life. And to like sniff and maybe stick your pinky in it and then touch it to your tongue. I don't know what it tastes like. I have no idea what milk and lemon juice tastes like. I'm imagining it in my brain, and it just tastes gross, I guess. I don't know if that's true, though. It could be delicious. Oh, shit, YouTube. King of the Hill speed debates, 2-minute rounds, is available on Politics Discord, live August 2nd at 1 p.m., probably Mountain Time. If you're interested in that kind of nerd shit, I'm not. Sounds stupid. All right, nerd, let's go. Prove it.
Prove what?
Prove the God thing.
Oh, I don't care about that, bro. I hate black people, but I want to debate that. Do we have anyone willing to debate this?
Guess what I learned? All this hospitals that Israel bombed in the Western Strip.
What are you talking about recently, or?
The people underneath those hospitals, the underground bunkers with, just like the weapons
like
of mass.
sealed in there and shit.
No, it's just like the weapons of mass destruction. Like no evidence.
What are they saying? I mean, did I miss news or something?
Well, I mean, what news would there be if there's no evidence?
I must have missed something.
Well, it's just like they never had any. Doesn't seem like it. So they just bombed every hospital in the Western Strip just cause.
Yeah, but like, are you talking about a specific thing? I missed the first part of what you were saying.
I'm just talking about Israel's doing the military operation since October 7th.
Oh yeah, yeah, their whole shit. Yeah, the genocide that they're doing.
Yeah, when they bombed the hospitals, the premise was that, hey, we've got the hostages, they're underground, they're holding up in there. That was a lie, apparently. They just indiscriminately bombed hospitals. I mean, all the foreign aid workers, they also get killed too, but goddamn, dude.
Oh wow, that's embarrassing. Look at this. It's Earth's true shape. You can see that it's flat too. It's actually pretty flat. It's actually surprisingly flat. To be honest, if you like look at it, dude, it's like really flat. A lot flatter than I thought it would be.
What is?
The Earth, man. They got a new 3D model of Earth, and I'm just commenting on how like flat some of the sections are. If you look at it, you'll see what I'm saying. Like as it rotates, it's like holy shit, that is pretty flat. If you scroll down on that link, they have a like an X post that shows 3D. It's pretty cool how like the water is actually crushing the crust into itself, and the continental crust is just like what's being exuded out by that. It's being like squeezed to the surface, and you can see it like bulging. That's all the silica and lighter non-basalt type, because like basalt's like heavy and dense, and silica is real light, and that's why generally the silica's on the surface like piles up, and that's what causes like continents and shit. But you can see like where the oceans are, like divots in where it's just like mass like crushing that section of Earth. Even though the water is moving around, it's just due to like the water level, and then that area, it just fucking look at it, it's a big crater, like southern India. Almost looks like something big hit it, and then like it froze like that because of the water or something. All right, Jess, let's go prove it.
Oh, it's exaggerated.
No, it's water is removed. There's no water. You're only looking at the true shape of Earth with the water removed. Water balances it out, makes it look more like an oblique spheroid. But you take the water away, and this is the shape of the land, they're saying. Just the rocky material of Earth itself, not the water. Geoid, they call it. All right, Gremlin, let's go prove it. Gremlin, if you want to chat freeload, you can watch my stream. Eventually, it'll pay for dogs in my area. Until then, I'm going to have to ask you to go fuck yourself. Thank you.
Got a voice gremlin? It's a voice chat. All right, waiting for voice in 5.
Yeah, I'll just disconnect him if he comes back up, man. Yeah, I don't see shit about like millions of dispatch calls being put out for God calling the police on all the pedos. So I think that'd be pretty big news. Reported on really quick. It's been a while now. I think I'd be hearing something. Dude, did you know that the algorithms, like, look at it this way. Let's say you're a theist, right? And you fucking hate me and you want me to die, like my channel. Type less than 6 words in my comment section. You have to get your point across in 5 words or less. Otherwise, you're bumping me in the algorithm and helping me spread my memetics to other brains. So that's why the YouTubers always say like that stupid shit about like, subscribe, and comment, and then they'll say some dumb shit about like, tell me where you're at in the world, because I really like reading where people are from. They don't read that shit. I read my shit because there's like 3 of you commenting. They don't read your shit. They're just wanting you to comment 6 words or more, which counts as engagement, and the robot bumps them up in the algorithm. So if you want to tell me to go fuck myself, go fuck, that's 3 words. So yeah, it's 2 for you to play with. Just saying. But yeah, you know, that being said, on a serious note, if I do read the comments most of the time. I may not get to it like immediately because the notification system's weird, but if any of yous out there have questions, you could post them, and you know, I'll probably get to it, and maybe you know, say something about it. All right, nerd, let's go. You're up, Smegma. Prove it.
I'm the guy who saw his own grandmother die, mother die, grandmother die.
Wait, what?
I'm that dude. Like, I'm the dude who was the only one in his family to see his grandmother die.
Why do I care about that, per se?
Well, we've actually met, like, and went over this, like, maybe
What does your dead
5 times
grandma
already.
and you witnessing it have to do with the theme of this room and why I give a shit about like interacting with human beings? Like, I'm not a therapist, bro. If you're trying to come to me for therapy, you're fucking up hard, bro.
No, it's just something I gotta live with. It's no deal, no big deal. I'm incredibly lucky, by the way. So I'm gonna leave you alone.
That's why you appreciate people while they're alive, because it's too late when they're dead. So cherish what you got. You know what I realized with this whole streaming thing And when these morons like get triggered and leave and we're mid-sentence like talking shit, we could finish. Just finish, right? It don't matter because you're not, just talk to the people out there. The like 3 of them that listen. It's going up though. It's going up. Spreading. I'm about to be breaking 400 views in 2 days per days. The last 48 hours shit, it's been trending up. People are looking. That's all I care about. Just keep looking. Open your mind to me. Open your mind.
Dude, what? So 2 days before the festival on October 7th, they moved the festival closer to the border. And then at 5:20 a.m., they asked all the patrollers on the border of Gaza to not patrol from 5:20 to 9 a.m. What the fuck?
Wasn't that like Shabbat or something?
What?
Wasn't it on Shabbat?
For military people?
Yeah.
You would stop defending a military checkpoint for Shabbat?
I'm unsure. I thought that was the reason.
I think that's some stupid bullshit. I think this is sounding more and more like a setup to me. It's like this is a recipe for disaster that they orchestrated, basically. They asked for it. It's like, let's put a bunch of people in harm's way so we can have an excuse to do genocide. So literally like manufacturing hostages just so they can kill kids, just to kill more Arabs. And it's like, fuck, none of this, like most of these people are not above 20 years old. Like the war between the Arabs and Israel was in the 70s. This is like the 2nd or 3rd generation since then.
Well, 48. Started in 48.
Yeah, so maybe even 4th generation since then.
This all of this is because of
It's all because
people,
the
religion.
IDF wants genocide, and they're using U.S. weapons to do it.
I mean, you guys could vote against it if you don't want it.
That's what I'm gonna do for my U.S. representative. I still need to check out my other candidates too.
Are you reading from this?
When am I voting? I'm voting. Election day for me is in August 4th, so I got a couple more days to do research. But yeah, I'm voting. I'm voting differently than my current rep for the midterms. I'll probably still win, but
Do you think the Israel is legitimate, but like over the years, what they're doing has gotten worse and worse? As just
how
as a
legitimate?
country,
Legitimate how?
like legitimate, like funded like by the UN or whatever, but like backed by UN, and then after all these wars and stuff, like they've gotten bad because like
I mean, its
being
initial
reckless.
existence is extremely weird. Like the UK going in and making this place. But I mean, it's a country.
Yeah.
Does country things. It's this whole like, here's a bunch of people you've decided to make a dependent nation, and then you're completely voiding that responsibility and now committing genocide. That's the problem. Not that they exist as a nation.
Yeah, I think the government needs a little bit of change.
I'm not saying delete the US. I'm saying delete the bad stuff the US is doing.
Yeah, I think Israel needs a new government because the government is like being a bit. Some things are indefensible.
When 80% of the population supports the genocide, what do you do? I think I gotta go to war with them.
How can you? They're the US's greatest ally.
It doesn't feel like it.
What did I want to say? Do you think, Mogi, do you think games are a big chain of if-then?
Card games, yeah.
Well, like Minecraft, the game that I'm playing a mod that makes it so you can use transportation types to move items around. And like you can have a system that processes your ores and shit, and you have like, oh, if this is an ore, then it
Wait,
goes
which mod
here.
are you
Oh, if
playing?
this is a dust, it's called Gractech. Very like
Oh, you're
techy
going
mod.
hardcore. Oh, geez.
Yeah. So basically, you have like if ore, then goes here. If dust, then goes here. If like it's just a continuous chain of ifs. If this, then here, go here. If this, then go here.
You have like a
So,
plan for your chemistry?
well, I'm learning about chemistry and stuff because there's a lot of
Well, it's got some fake chemistry
materials.
and
Yeah,
then
there's
some real
magic, but
chemistry.
like right now, I'm processing diamonds, and you get like graphite and shit. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Maybe would you like something like this, or would you get bored? Or is this too much for you?
It's a bit grindy.
No.
I would guess out pretty quick. I'm not good at like super grindy things.
Well, you'd be good at the math side. That's I assure you. The math shit. I think you'd be good at that because you get the brain.
And the training.
If let's say you make a code and like you're using if then, is it laggy if you have a long ass chain of if thens, or is it better to use like more like effective methods of like doing a code?
I mean, an if statement is expensive. It's like 12 cycles, I think.
So it's better not to do that. You want to be like effective
Well,
or like
what else would
efficient.
you
I
do?
mean, well, if we're talking about efficiency, you wouldn't do that. You would like use other like what do you call them? Statements or like symbols.
Yeah, you would use it, but what else would you do? You need to compare something, right?
So you would need to use it.
Like at the lower level, if you look at CPU architectures, there is more than one types of comparison, right? It's like there's like 8 to 12 different types of comparisons. So technically there is that type of thing, but it's not necessarily wise to do like kernel level execution and just run a straight assembly. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, anyway.
fucking American people. What's up, fucking American people? All here today.
Prove it. All right, we're gonna go one by one. Sanry, are you there?
Yeah.
Prove it.
Yeah. Can I just say something before I prove it?
No. I'll ask you a question, then you can answer. So you believe in God? Yes or no? Then you
I
can
just want to
ask
give
me a
some
question.
I just want to give some context to why I'm here.
Well, answer
Before
my question,
I will answer.
and then I'll
I will,
answer your
okay.
question. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If you're not from
believe
YouTube,
in God?
answer the question.
Okay, what was the question again? Sorry. The God ain't real
Do you
thing.
believe in God? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and ask your question. What do you want?
Oh, I was saying I've been here a couple times, and normally when I'm here, I'm not here to like say if I believe in a
Well,
God or not. But I am
the
here
room has
today for
rules.
now. Yeah, I am here
So,
today for now. I just wanted
Did
to
you
say
read
that.
the rules in the side chat stickied at the top?
Yeah. I am gonna follow those rules. I just wanted to say something before. Is like
Well,
the
then
reason I was.
engage.
But so you read rule
Yeah.
3, right?
Let me. I read them like a long
active
time ago. Let
participation.
me read them again.
Oh, you
Rule
wanna check
3?
it again?
No chat reloading. You will be required to
Yeah.
engage specifically. Oh yeah, I want to engage. Yeah. That's why I'm here. I know what this chat is about. That's why I wanted to
Okay,
join.
good.
I only wanted to mention
So,
that I'm here because recently I kind of leaning towards like Islamic religion. That's why I was here, and I wanted to just say that I do believe in a God. Just I don't know which God. I just believe there's like a God. I'm not Muslim or
yeah,
anything
bro,
yet.
what do you mean by that?
Oh, so like for the past before 2 or 3 years ago, I was like mostly atheist. But the past like 2 to 3 years, I've been talking to a lot of people and researching stuff,
Okay,
and I
so people
kind
give you
of
this
lean towards.
idea of God? Is this what you got? People, you talk
Oh,
to
the
people,
reason.
and people give
The
you
reason.
this idea of God, and now you're saying, I want
No.
this thing to be like real? Like, is this what you're looking for?
Yeah, are you
Oh,
hoping
that's what
that
I
we'll
mean. Like the
tell you to
reason.
not jump off the ledge? Because I'm just gonna say, do
Oh.
it, jump.
No. The reason you want me to say the reason I believe in a God?
Well,
Yeah.
you
Okay.
said you were an atheist, and then you talked to people, and then they said they gave you this
Oh, and
idea of God. Now you believe in this idea. Like, what are you believing in actually?
correct. I also say I did like a little bit of research stuff, and when I dug deep into like the whole, maybe you guys heard this argument a lot, but when you zoom in, right? Let's say you have a microscope. You zoom in and zoom in and zoom in, right? Until you get to like the like, elemental particles, whatever they're called. But scientists or physicists, they estimate that like the most that we can zoom in. Right now, our technology only allows us to like zoom in, let's say like 10 to the 24th power, right? Of like negative centimeters or whatever it's called.
I think it's 27, but yeah, it's very small.
Oh yeah. So that. So, but scientists or physicists estimate that you could zoom in all the way to like 10 to the power of 120 or some crazy number, right? So for me, it's like, that's just one thing that we're probably like in our lifetimes and in future generations, like the amount of energy you need to actually measure something that small is something in the quantities of like our entire solar system or something crazy like this, right? We need the same amount of energy in our whole solar system to zoom in that much because
So
of
question.
frequencies. But oh yeah.
Can you connect the dots?
Yep. You came to the wrong place, mate.
Can you connect the dots?
These are some
Hey man, can you
crazy
stop
people
interrupting?
here.
I'll just help you there.
Yeah, how is this related to like
Oh, okay.
you
Oh
believing
yeah,
in
I
a
was
God?
getting there. Yeah. So after that, I was like, okay, so we can never zoom in, so we cannot find out like that way. So I was also
Wait, what
thinking,
do you mean
okay,
find out? Find out what?
like how were we created, like where we come from, like you know, like the
Why?
origins of everything.
What makes you think that's an appropriate question to ask?
What? Oh,
It seems that you're
I'm getting so
begging the
confused.
question.
What did you observe in reality to indicate created?
Oh no. I was getting to the point. I have another point other than the zooming in. I have another one that is more.
Hey man,
towards
if
that
you
thing.
don't
So that's just a
if you
part
don't
of.
like engage with our pushbacks and responses, we can't help you.
Oh, sorry. That's what I'm trying. I just wanted to finish my thought from the
Yeah, well,
zooming in.
yeah. If you
maybe-
do that, we're not going to be able to help you. We're not going to retain in our mind 15 different things we object to just to let you finish. We're not going to do that.
Yeah, let's go one at a time.
Okay.
So how is this like pertinent?
What did you observe in reality to indicate created?
Nothing. I haven't
So,
observed anything.
is created a thing?
It's a word.
Is it a phenomenon?
It's
like,
not a
is
thing.
this a thing?
Just question. If it's not a thing, do you need an explanation for it?
Yes.
Why do you need explanations for not a thing?
It's like love is not a thing, but you can also explain it, right? Like
No, I'm talking about like a magical unicorn that squirts queef dust in order to increase your salary.
Yeah.
Why do you need an explanation for that?
You don't. If it's
Right.
like a.
And so when you
something like that.
ask, where did this come from? And you don't have a justification for come from, maybe that should trigger a warning signal, just like the unicorn.
Wait, when I ask what? I ask something?
Come from. Come from is a level 7 wizard spell. Come from.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah, I see that. I see. No, you're right. Like the microscope thing that I mentioned was not a good argument for.
Well,
why I
was a
believe in God.
microscope trying to answer that question or what?
Oh yeah. Like if I mean if we can zoom in.
So it's
all the
trying to
way
answer
like,
a question that we don't even know is appropriate.
No, I'm saying like if you can actually zoom in that much, you could probably like bash every religion. Like you could be
Well,
like
if we do
hey,
what?
religions like go out if you zoom
Why
in.
would that? Why
to
would that bash
maximum
every religion?
potential,
Why would that?
Because it would show how everything is made.
How? First of all, you did it again.
Yeah. You're stuck on this
Yeah.
idea of come from. Like that's the
see the
thing
main-
you're supposed to be proving.
Yeah. Is the maid another come from when you just said that?
I think I cannot. I don't really understand the question. Like I've never had a question like is made.
Right. What did
this?
you
Yeah,
observe in reality to indicate made?
Nothing.
Right. So why do you keep answering questions that are inappropriate or trying to explain things that are inappropriate?
Oh, okay, I get. Okay, I see. So let me see if I get this right. Why am I trying to explain something I have never seen? That's more like the.
Well,
Like,
things
is
that
it
aren't
an
part of your
appropriate?
phenomenological experience.
Can I ask an obvious, like, hypothetical question here? Well, I guess not
Mhm.
hypothetical. Can I ask an inappropriate question just so it hits harder?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why did you steal money from the starving orphan children?
Steal money from a starving orphan children.
Yeah. I'm asking for your motivations.
Okay, if it's a hypothetical.
Yeah, we're not talking shit. It's a
I-
hypothetical.
Yeah. If it's a hypothetical, I would steal money from them in order.
But it's you. It's you in the hypothetical, and you're
Yeah,
being
of course,
asked, "Why'd you steal the money from
Yeah.
the orphan children?"
Yeah. I'm stealing the money because.
I'm only hypothetically asking you. This is
Yeah,
still
I know,
the
I know.
real you.
Yeah.
Imagine
Did you
we're
steal
really
money?
attacking you. We're not attacking you, but imagine
I
we
know.
are attacking you.
Yeah. So I would say that it's because I was on the verge of dying and I was
Bro,
starving.
did you
and I
hold on?
needed food.
Did you actually steal money from children in real life?
No. I know it's a hypothetical.
We're asking that guy, the guy who has not stolen money. We're asking him.
We're asking you, why did you do
I
it?
see. No, I didn't.
Yeah, but that
So, right,
doesn't
so-
answer the question, though, does it?
It doesn't. It's not an explanation, though, right?
Oh, okay. I see. Okay. I see what you mean. Like it can't have an explanation because it never happened.
It's not a thing.
Yeah. Okay. I mean that makes sense. But yeah.
Same problem here, man. You keep talking about how it got made.
Yeah, that got made is a level 7 wizard spell.
I understand.
Right. Furthermore,
Yeah.
Understanding elemental particles isn't going to stop a creationist from saying, here is a magical being that takes nothing to something. The
I think
creationist believes the world was made 6,000 years ago. What elementary particles are going to like have solve any of your problems?
Wait, so you're saying no religious person believes there was like dinosaurs or like stuff like this?
Well, they
like
can.
millions of
I'm
years?
saying there are religious people who believe that dinosaurs are fake.
Oh, okay. I see. Yeah, I think at the end of the day, I think when you believe in a god, you're right. You can't believe in a god based on like.
Yeah, but do you see what's happened to you? Like we're asking about the orphan children. Your culture, your society has walked up to you and said, "What are you going to do about that soul of yours? Be a damn shame if something happened to it." They gaslit you. You believed them. You were like, "Wait, what soul?" And they told you about it. They were like, "Yeah, you got this invisible soul thing, and demons are going to fuck it up when you die unless you do these specific things like everybody else is doing." They did the same thing. They gaslit you into believing.
You're a bunch of lefties.
You're explaining why you stole the orphanage money because you're afraid that I'm gonna like beat you if you don't agree that you did it, right?
But
That's what your culture and your society's pressure is putting on you.
Yeah. I think it's also like the like how do you say this? How do you say this word? Like a natural feeling to like want to know how everything started. I think maybe that's like a
That's
natural.
not natural, dude. That's a learned behavior. Now you're talking about general wonderment and curiosity is natural.
Yeah.
Yeah, that has
Yeah, I
nothing to
think
do with like religions. Like that's just you're a primate and a very intelligent primate at that. So you wonder. You have that capacity. You have deep thought.
Yeah. I think.
So you're
that's probably-
desperate to explain a question that you don't even know is a thing?
I mean that makes sense. To be honest, I mean that's like a logical argument. That makes sense. Yeah. I can see how I would be wrong in logic based on that.
Well, just think about two prime nerds, one Einstein, one Newton. One said you can't create nor destroy energy. The other said that everything is made out of energy. And then you're asking, where did all the energy get created from?
Yeah.
It's a contradiction.
No, I understand. Yeah. But I think another one of the things that leaned me more towards believing a god was and yeah, this might seem like stupid, but when you think about in our lifetime, right? Let's say humans have been advanced humans. I don't know. Let's just put a hypothetical, 10,000 years. But the universe is a certain period old, right? It's like 13 billion years old or something. So just by statistic,
That's an arbitrary number that we assign to a
Yeah.
particular event.
yeah, it's not. Yeah, I know. But
Or I
what I'm
mean,
saying is like
that's a
just
non-arbitrary number that we apply to a particular event. Like
Yeah, but-
45 years ago is the beginning of the universe. Actually, I don't know if you know that.
no. What I was referring to is that so it's like based on that number, the arbitrary number is there's a chance that there's like advanced civilizations out there, right? So like they just like we created that. I don't know if you guys saw that little fruit fly mapping of the brain that we put a mapping of the brain of a fruit fly into a
Like
computer.
advanced how?
Yeah, like advanced simulations. So if we can do that at the period we're in, imagine what we could do in like if we were like 100,000 years advanced. So I think like
In
simulations.
order to
they might be, like,
simulate the
really-
universe, you would need more than universe. That sounds expensive.
Well, yeah, but
also,
it's
have you had a
possible.
piece of software without bugs?
No, but it's what I'm not saying it's happening.
Yeah,
I'm
for
saying
some
it's just
reason, G never
possible
changes.
physically. Yeah, I'm just saying physically it's possible. Of course, it's really unlikely for that for someone to have that power, all this. But I'm saying like let's just say it's the truth, right? You're like, okay, I find like us humans, we finally find out, and I know this is not possible.
Well, why would I
but we
do that?
finally
So,
find out to be in a.
Why are we
That's
running?
true.
No, I'm saying.
Sunray,
I'm saying what
Sunray, why are
happens-
we
what happens
imagining?
next.
Yeah,
Why
I
are we
don't want to
imagining
play.
and running from reality?
Oh,
I'll drink tea with you, bro, but it's gonna be real tea.
okay. No, yeah, I mean, yeah, the reason I say this is because, like, once you find out, like, who created the simulation, you're like, wait, but who created the person that created the simulation? So you just get to a point that you're like, bro, guy has to be
No,
real."
you've got a runaway semantic snowball.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty accurate way to put it. Yeah, like,
That's
it's like
what
a little thing
wild
that
speculation
snowballed
is.
into
That's
this.
why it's not fruitful to do that. It's fruitful to hypothesize, to speculate upon something grounded in reality.
Yeah, I mean, I also bought a Bible, and I have a Quran here recently too.
Yeah,
I
those
have
aren't going to
yet
do you any
read.
good. Those are alleged epistemic models without epistemic access.
Those are
it's cool
books.
part-
Those are books. Those are evidence of books. That's not
like-
evidence of reality.
It's like take a science book, right? Like a textbook for school. Have you ever had one? That is just an epistemic model, right? The textbook itself is just an epistemic model. It's saying, here's what we know about what we think we have observed. The thing about those textbooks is they have the ability to reference and make referent the ontology, what they're claiming in the Bible or in the books. They're making this claim. They're like, you're a ground monkey, right? And then they cite how you're a ground monkey. They show that to you. So they're showing you that they're connecting the ontology, that your nature, your bipedalism, right, as an ape. They're referencing an ontology, and then the book itself is merely a model of what they're saying. They're saying, here, you're a monkey for these reasons, and they have a big ass fucking book that explains it.
Yeah. I mean,
So
I
what
think
does the
mostly because-
Quran not have? If you look in the back of the Quran, do you see a citations or works cited?
I don't know.
There's not.
Oh.
There's
Also-
a glossary in the front, or a table of contents rather, and a glossary in the back to help you understand their internal inconsistency bullshit, to help you understand that. But there's no citations, none.
And it's just like, furthermore, just like these entire texts show, they're going to be regularly reminding you that you're bad, you should feel bad, and that you should do whatever the people in the church tell you.
Yeah, when I
Yeah,
say
to
you're
be
a ground
honest-
monkey, I could point at your knees and ankles and teeth and your brachiation and stuff. I can cite your tailbone. When they say you're a magic spirit creature that's going to teleport when you die and go to Magic Happy Land, they can't actually point at anything and give you the citations and works cited. See what I'm saying? They don't have that.
Yeah.
So they're not even in the same arena. Richard Dawkins was right about a few things. One of the things that he was right about is you don't platform those kind of people. You can't take them seriously. You have to, try to understand that they're not being honest.
No, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah, I think the main reason I got the Quran and the Bible is just because history, like, sort of like a really interesting part of history. Even if God is real or not, like, just the history aspect is like interesting.
Well, have you heard of reverse Pascal's wager, or at least my version of it?
No, I don't know what that is. What is it exactly?
Sorry, thanks, Bobby. So Pascal's wager, I guess, for the forward. Are you familiar with Pascal's wager?
No, I don't know. Is that like a person, a word?
You're like, I don't know if there's a God, but I'm just going to be on the safe side and just pray, just in case. What's the
Oh,
harm?
that's what it means.
That's Pascal's wager. You're
Oh no, I'm
gambling.
not doing that. No. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Don't get me wrong. Like for example,
Well,
yeah.
that's not. Well, the river. Just hear the reverse out in a second. You good? Your mic kind of. Okay, I'll run it, I guess. In the reverse Pascal's wager, there's this God, and he's very smart, and he wants to be left alone. He doesn't want anyone to bother him. He created the world in such a way that everywhere you look, the world looks in such a way that no God exists. And that if you were to pray to God, God would hear you and he would resent you for doing that and send you to hell when you die because you bothered him.
Oh, I see.
They just want to be left alone.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So, if you were to take Pascal's wager, reverse Pascal's wager is sitting at your doorstep right there.
I mean, honestly, I've been adhering to Pascal's wager probably for the past 20 years. I was saying, like, I don't remember the last time I prayed, but I was saying that, like, that's probably a main reason why I'm not Muslim, because of the praying that you have to pray 5
Dude,
times a
why
day.
would
And
you want to
just
become
like,
Muslim? Oh my god, like that's the worst.
Like,
dude.
it's just the best. I think for me, when I saw Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, those are the three that I've
Why,
been
dude?
like
Why
talking to
Islam?
the
Dude, it's
past 20
fucking dog
years.
shit.
all three of those have terrible doctrines. If you read those texts, they have terrible prescriptions for the treatment of women, for example. Like,
Yeah, like
in
maybe
Islam,
when I read them,
if you
I will be like,
have unfilial sex, what happens to the man is that he needs to beg for forgiveness and say sorry. But for the woman, she needs to be in home confinement until